Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning to all my followers. Good morning to you guys. Thank you very much for your views. Thank you for listening to me. Any of you that listen to my live streams, my videos, thank you very much. I really, 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 really appreciate you and your time. Thank you. Thank you for your comments, guys. I see them, even though I do not always answer them. I see them. Thank you very much. Um, I wanted to talk about why is Africa still struggling, guys. I cannot get over this. I go to bed with this. I wake up with this. Like the condition of my people really, really bothers me. I feel so disempowered. I feel so useless. I feel powerless. I don't know. I just sit around and just research and trying to learn more about the reason why we are so behind. This my main concern always it's about the people, the poor, the vulnerable people that cannot be protected by the so-called leaders, the children that are dying every day because they have no access to healthcare, clean water, electricity, nothing. Why are we still in that state in 2022? What is wrong with Africans? What is wrong with us? We have lived that life so much that it has become like normal. When you walk around this country, in this when you walk around in these countries, people just living that life as if it's like, I don't know, normal, just like the, you know how when people were born into a caste system, you just live as if that's your destiny, that's what you were born to do, that's how what your life was planned to be. But i know I know deep down that these people don't have to live in this condition. So, what is the problem with Africans and African leaders? What is the problem? I often hear people say that, oh, the West is doing this, the West is doing that. But what are we doing? What are African people doing? And then when I read about Africa all over the internet, um, I see article like this one talking about how African country are the fast growing economy in the world. I don't even understand what I mean. It baffles me when I hear stuff like this. How can it be the fast growing economy in the world and the people living there don't benefit from that growth? It's growing for the foreigner that are investing in Africa or for us. There's a huge gap between rich and poor in Africa. It's almost as if you rich, you have the possibility to get richer by exploring more and more, by oppressing more and more the poor, to create that gap between the rich and the poor. Why are we struggling with poverty? Despite the fact that we're saying that Africa is the fastest growing economy in the world right now. Why are people struggling when we are the one that have the raw material and there's so much demand of those raw material from the rest of the world? Why are we struggling? We should be like rolling on the on diamonds and gold. Everybody else should be just working for us. We should be living the best life. Why are we not even living a decent life? Why? What is our leaders doing? These people, are they even competent to run this country? And if they are not, there's some people in Africa that argue that Africa should be recolonized because they believe deep down that if someone else from a different ethnicity or from a different race was running Africa, it would be much better than an African itself. Because it almost looks like African people really suffer from brain damage. The more and more I think about this, the more and more I can see that there's a possibility that we're suffering from some sort of like brain damage, something that holds us back from like really think about ourselves on a bigger scale. There's something about African people. I'm talking about individually first. There's something about our DNA that's really like toxic when it comes to the way we view ourselves, the way we project and view ourselves. Because I don't understand how you can be a leader of a country, right? And you have all this like possibility, all these options to perform, huh? To make a change, to really make a change when it comes to the people's life, and you don't do it. What is what is preventing all these people? I know that I understand there's a system in place, but the head of the system is the leader. If you want to change, you can bring change. You don't have to change everything at once, but at least you can start where you know that the next generation is gonna carry over and continue building on what you have established as a foundation. Because when you look at this country, they don't even have foundation. They are operating on a very weak foundation, if there's any, because to me there's none. The foundation start with what you put in the people, in the youth. The youth of Africa that are empty-headed. There's nothing in their mind. There's nothing in their mind. What am I talking about? The youth in Africa, these people are not even empowered. They are not built. So what are they gonna grow up to be? Nothing. Nothing. I'm even more afraid of the next generation of Africans than this one that's actually here now. Because the next generation is going to be worse than this one, and it's going to get worse and worse. So, what are we going to do? People just want to be like, oh, so what change are you going to bring? Um, Talking like you're talking is not going to change anything. Really, I'm going to tell you guys something. I rather talk. I rather like come here all the time and vent just then sitting around and pretend that everything is okay. It's not okay. Nothing is okay. If you guys could, nothing is okay. Oops, what is happening? So, what I'm saying, what bothers me is that generation that would be after us that would have not even been educated properly, that would have not been empowered, that would not even know much about who they are. How is our countries gonna be when we're not here anymore? Because in this generation, there are some people, I would say, they're minority, they're very small group of people that understand and know what's happening and really want to do the right thing, but they cannot, you know, because the majority of people are ignorant and they fight against the people that are knowledgeable, that want the change. The most safe, the most I mean, like the most oh my god, what am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought. So what I was saying is that the most effective way, that's the word I was looking for, the most effective way of building Africa in the future and building the youth is to educate them properly. And that's where everything is going wrong in Africa, because we are not being educated. We are not being um, informed. We are basically carrying on the lies that the colonizers designed for us to believe. I cannot believe, like, I cannot fathom, like, when I think about this, I'm like, wow, which world are we living in? We are not even like taking into consideration, to be honest with you guys. When I look at things clearly, we are not even valued. We are basically insulted when you see what's happening over there. We are basically like um we are we are insulted, we are alienated, and we perpetuate the alienation. Like, you guys will not believe what it's being taught in school in Africa. The more you learn about about African history, I mean, like, the most angry you get. There's no way you cannot be angry when you learn the truth about what happened to us as people. What happened to us as people? It's horrible. It's horrible. And the fact that we continue to carry on the same narrative that the colonizer hang over to us, and turn against our own self, and stop believing really that without them we cannot do nothing. We become numb to our own suffering and start begging and believing that our enlightenment, our success, our our victory. I mean, we're not even fighting. I'm not even going to talk about victory. Victory for what? We're not fighting anything. Lord have mercy. When I think about this thing, like, it irritates me. I don't know how people who are so knowledgeable, like other people I listen to, or maybe the books that I'm reading now, the people that I wrote it. I don't know how those people fell, really. And there's nothing more hurtful than being in a community when you're trying to fight for for those people and they turn against you. Oh my God. And this only happened in our community. I will say that for sure. Now I'm going back and reading the book of some of our scholar, and I'm like, wow, these people were saying this thing like years ago, and none of us listen, and we let thing goes, we let thing continue to go the way it was going until today that I myself became enlightened and I'm seeing things for what they are. And I'm like, no, no, there was a lot of Africa that were like enlightened long time ago, but nobody listened to them because they were minority. When they speak, no, it's just like me now. When I go among my people and start talking to them, everybody turn their back against me. They turn their back on me and they be like, oh, what you gonna do? And we already know that. We know all that. But what's that gonna no, there's not nothing's gonna change, nothing's gonna happen. That's how we speak. That's how we speak. And that's why nothing is moving. Things are going backward. When I look on social media, I can see that things are getting worse and worse. Our children are getting more and more brainwashed. Our children are turning against themselves more and more. Even the things that were appreciated, some of our cultural uh, value that were dearly kept and were still appreciated when I was growing up, now is being like pushed to the side and replaced by idea from the Western world. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that are making me cringe on social media. Our values are changing, and these people are calling this uh being modernized, becoming modern. That's not what becoming modern is. You cannot just replace what you used to do by some with something else and say that you have become modern. It's modernized. What does that even mean, being modernized? What does that even mean? When we were growing up, they let us know that the reason why we are poor is because of war, is because of lack of fund to build a country. But since I have grown and became, I mean, like I'm in my 40s now. When I was like, let's say 18 years old, in my country, they keep talking about recession, recession. Since then to today, it has never changed. The economy has always been the same. There has never been any shift. Only when I moved here in the United States that I saw an economy that moves, that can go from good to bad to average to that can go in any direction. But in my country, I have never, no one has ever mentioned that the economy is good, even for a year. The economy has always been bad. It always declined, decline, 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 decline. The price of everything has always continued climbing and climbing, and it has never went down. United States, there has been a time that the house market goes up, it goes down, it shifts. But in my country, that tells you that we are very incompetent. That's clearly what it is. We lack vision, We don't even know how to run this country, to be honest with you guys. Because the people, even when the people say that, oh, African leaders are puppet to the West, even if these people had the full power, the full liberty to run this country, they will run it to the ground. They're not competent. They're clearly not competent. Because if they were, they still have a lot of room to maneuver. There's a lot of room to maneuver. Even with the West on our back, we still have room to maneuver, to have a decent, to provide a decent living condition to our people. These people don't know how to negotiate any contract. They don't know how to negotiate a deal that favors them, or maybe that's equal. That's a win-win. They do not. They don't have the correct value. What and they like vision. That's the main thing I see over here. Lack of vision. They are so short-sighted. They think about today. They think about today. They think about. I'm talking about our leader. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about our leader. Their first issue is that they have low self-esteem. These people don't think about themselves as leaders. They think about themselves as followers. They have the mentality of relying on what other people tell them to do or think about them. So the first and foremost, most important goal is to 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 please people, because they want to know what Franks is thinking about them. They're so happy. Our leaders, when you see a leader saying that Emmanuel Macron is my friend, that's the best thing. I mean, like, to him, it's like a proudful thing to say. He's saying it with a lot of like pride. He's saying it as if he's saying to other people that I'm better than you. They still suffer from inferiority complex. And what are you gonna do when you have that kind of mindset? If you are a leader that is still basically suffer from inferiority complex, that want to please, that worries so much about how your colonizer think about you. How are you gonna do right by your people? There's no way you're gonna really want to do right by your people, because the moment that whatever you're trying to do for your people come in conflict with whatever your colonizer asks you to do, you're gonna go with what he wants you to do so that you can continue being the best uh puppet or the best student. You know, that's what these people are suffering from. Inferiority complex. They're so pride. They're so proud. I mean to say, they are very proud to take pictures with European leaders. That's one of the most. Um, that's what they really like to show when they're standing by the European leader, holding their hands, being invited um, in Europe to be with them for conferences, for even nothing, just to hang out with them. They love those doing those things. When you're suffering from inferiority complex, huh? That's when you're a leader in Africa and you have a wife that doesn't look like your people. That's something that should have never ever be happening over there. You cannot be a leader of a country, right? And marry somebody that is not from that country. What does that say to the rest of the people? What does that say? What does that say about you? People blame. the African themselves, the people on the ground. But these people have no power. These people have no power because the culture, the culture in this country, it's so, I don't know, it's so against the value of the people. So much that the people end up embracing this culture, not even knowing how damaging that culture is for them. For example, like I'm saying, this African leader that married foreigners, you know, foreigner from Africa, indirectly send a message to the rest of the population that you guys are not good enough. I have to import my wife. You know, I have to have a wife that I imported. And the people on the ground also dream about having a foreign wife. Like in my country, if you have a foreign wife, especially from a European uh, descent, that's an upgrade. That's something great. The family even praise you. Before it wasn't, the family will not accept that. But we have a specific tribe. We have some tribes that really value European uh, uh, spouses. Like if you marry a European, that is an upgrade to your family. Your family is looked at as prestigious, as evolving. You are the daughter. I mean, if you're a girl that marry a European, you are look like the best daughter in the family. Or if you're a man that bought an European wife, they will look at you as if you have done something great for the family. So these leaders set the wrong example for the people. We should have never allowed any African leader to marry a foreigner. That doesn't make any sense. And that should go for any country. I'm not talking about only Africa. Even if you're American, it's better that you have an American wife. If you're a Chinese, it's better that you have a Chinese wife. If you're going to be leading the people of China, it's only fair. It's nothing bad. Only in Africa that is celebrated because African people think less of themselves. It has always been like this. Africa, the first reason for me why Africa is still poor is that because if your mind is not right, there's nothing else that's gonna go right around you. Your mind is so powerful, the way you think, the way you view yourself. You can only change your circumstances if you change your perception. You cannot sit and have all these internalized like hate for yourself, for your people, and hoping to do something great for them. That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. So to me, the first reason, like I said, the reason why Africa is still where it is because of the mindset. The mindset is the number one uh, hindrance to Africa's progress. To be honest, I really feel like we need like a um we need therapy. You know, we went through colonization. We went through colonization was basically brainwashing. We went through that, but we never really addressed it in a way to heal ourselves. We addressed colonization in a way to continuously like praise. what happened to us, to downplay, to rationalize it, to make it sound good to us. We talk about colonization as if it was something gentle, soft, to better our life. Who does that to their children? And we demonize all the great fighters, the people that fought against colonization in my country are demonized. It's only when you start reading and do your own research that you understand that these people were done so wrong. These people did not deserve what happened to them. They painted them as the demon, and they teach us in school that these people were the people that were killing our people. Who give that kind of education to their children? That is turning your child against himself. And that's what's happening over there. People are surprised. Why is Africa so like this? You're walking around in Africa and you see all this um trash, how people are living in very like poor. What's the word that's worse than poor? I don't know. Poor condition. People are dehumanized. It's because of what we learn in school. We learn so much hateful stuff in school against our own self that it becomes normal. Like you don't want to be like, really, the less African you are, the better you become. The better you feel about yourself. Nobody want to be African. Nobody want. It's even too hard to be African, to be honest with you. It's very hard. So if you don't love yourself, everything starts with self love. I'm now that I look at Africa in a different way. Now that I'm enlightened, I look at the world. I'm studying every. I look at other country. Before it wasn't like that. I was just looking at me and Africa and where I came from. That's all. That short sighted that I'm talking about, we are so short sighted and we were taught to think like that. They don't allow you to think big. When you question anything, it's a problem. Don't ask questions. Don't argue. Don't say, don't express, don't express your disdain for anything you don't like. It's a problem. It's you being defiant. It's you being stubborn. That's how we are. So in school, when they tell you that the European colonization was to help us come out of bushes, was to create hospital, was to create roads, railroads, was to bring school, was to bring what is the other one? Clothes. Colonization is what gave us all those stuff. That's what we learned. That's what me growing up I was taught. And that all the people from my country that fought against it was people that did not want us to modernize. So we supposed to hate them. And that's what we grew up with. We're supposed to hate anybody that fought against colonization. Even now in 2022, they're still teaching our children in school the same thing. How do you guys think that we're gonna even for once believe in ourselves? There's no way we can believe in ourselves. That's the reason why when we leave Africa, we celebrate. When you have a visa to go to America or go to Europe, there's a party. That's hell to celebrate your departure, because that's to us mean that you're going towards success. There's no way that you can find any success in Africa. Africa is not a place where you succeed. That's a place where Other people, especially European, bring European are the people that bring greatness to Africa. So you see a European, you bow down to him. You see a European, there's a possibility to be successful for you if you are maybe walking with them or maybe like hanging around with them. You are viewed in the society as somebody that is en route for success. That's how it is. You're elevating yourself. That's a social ascendance. So there's no way that you're gonna look at European as somebody that's hindering your progress. No way. There's no way that's gonna be looked at like that. And we always gonna look bad. We're gonna look at our people as the demon. There's a say that we have. We always say that okay, you are black like your heart. That's how we say you are black like your heart, meaning that you're wicked, basically. The black people heart is they say in my country that black people have a black heart. Oh my god. When I think about all these things that we have been uh we have been conditioned to behave, it's really hurtful. I'm laughing, it's hurtful. And the more you know about the truth, the more angry you become. I'm telling you, as an African person, as a black person, the more angry you are. When people now I understand a lot of stuff that I did not understand when I came to America. When I hear the term black people are always angry, I did not even know that did not even register in my mind. There's no reason why black people would not be angry. We have been done so wrong in this world, throughout history. What has black people ever done to anyone? Even in our own land, I mean in Africa, we are taken advantage of. In 2022, if you go back to Cameroon or anywhere in Africa and ask the children, do you want to leave this country to go elsewhere in Europe or in America? Or do you want to stay here and fund maybe a business for you? They would rather leave and go somewhere. When you're leaving to go somewhere, you just like hoping that you succeed. But they would rather leave to go somewhere with hope only than staying there with you funding a business for themselves. They rather leave because they don't believe that there's anything good that can come out of that place. It's only now. This is why I'm really grateful that for the movement of diaspora and back to Africa. You guys have no idea how valuable this is, because this is even changing the narrative of things, like it inversing the narrative. Before it was always leave, 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 go elsewhere. Can you imagine the people coming from where has always like been a mate for you, like it's a place of success? Those people coming back to the place that you don't even look at as a possibility, and then tell you there's opportunity over here, you can succeed here. There's nothing more powerful than that. This is very empowering to the African people. Not everybody will have the possibility to leave the continent. No, not every family has the money to send their child uh, outside of Africa. It's very expensive. It's a very expensive thing to do. So the people there, by diaspora and coming back and investing in Africa, it gives the people on the ground opportunity to not only have a job but also to learn, because there's so much to learn. When you haven't left Africa, you live like in a box. It looks like there's a box in your head. Someone put a box in your head. You can only see to certain distance. You can only understand to certain things that is right there around you. Who's calling me? Hello? I'm good. Yeah. What time? Okay, that's fine. No, 9 will be fine. All right. You're welcome, Bubba. All right. Sorry, guys. I was answering the phone call. I don't even know what I was talking about. I forgot. I'm so passionate with these African issues. I don't know if you guys are as passionate as I am. Um, really, we do a lot of live streams where we talk about this. Talking about it is therapeutic also, and also it allows me to come in contact with like-minded people, um, which is very also important and comforting. Because sometimes you feel like you're by yourself, you're the only one thinking like that because you around people that don't understand you, they think that you're speaking about, people turn this against you. I mean, we have a lot of like gathering here, African gathering in general, and then country gathering in particular. But when you meet with those people, they don't want to discuss stuff like that. We want to discuss stuff like, okay, I just got this. People gonna tell you I just got this job that's paying this amount. I just got this new. I just got this new degree. I'm going to get this degree. It's always about stuff like that, but nothing forward. Not a lot of Africans have forward thinking, especially when it comes to our condition. A lot of Africans are in the mindset of that's where we are and that's where we always be. Nothing will ever change. African people has no intention of doing better. And you better focus on yourself and doing good for yourself and your family. And that's it. There's no global, when I say global, I'm not talking about worldly. I'm talking even just country. There's no community vision building. African people don't think about building a community. They think about building themselves individually because we lack vision. We don't believe that we can. And given the condition in which we've been living and where we came from, it's very hard to project and see that possibility. The mindset is very divisive. We learn how to discriminate from childhood. Even in our household, we are taught how to discriminate. I'm telling you the truth. I know some Africans gonna come here and argue this, but I would prove it to you. I wish someone can come on this live stream and challenge me on this. We are taught how to discriminate from childhood. It's hard for you to grow up and not know how to discriminate because they will tell you this tribe is bad for this, that, this. The stereotype. They will tell you. If your neighbor is from a different tribe, right? They will tell you everything bad about them, what they do wrong. So from childhood, you already learn how to view your neighbor as someone that's different from you and someone that you're gonna go against. You know, in school, that discrimination is like reinforced in school by the teacher himself, by the student himself, just the way that he treat the students reinforce the discrimination. The teacher will even insult students based on their tribe. Depending on the tribe of the teacher, he has preference. He will show preference treatment towards the people from his tribe, and basically, I mean, basically, put the people. Let me put it into context first. So in Africa, right, tribes have history, and there are tribes in Africa that are rivals. They will never get along. If you're unlucky, you from the tribe that rivals with the tribe of your teacher. Oh my God, this teacher will pick on you till the end of the year. He will pick on you and pick on the people that are from that tribe too in the classroom. You guys will be treated differently. You'll be marginalized. Okay, you'll be made fun of. Every opportunity he will be picking on you. So very early during your formative years, you kind of like learn that behavior of discriminating against people that you don't like, even though you never have a personal experience with them. The teacher basically projects what he learned also from his family onto you. And that's how you will never like that tribe growing up also. You will always have prejudice towards that tribe. So that's how we grow up. You grow up knowing who, sometimes you don't even want to be friends with them at all. Sometimes we don't want to be friends with them. It's only when we have grown and became, especially when we leave the country. I'm gonna tell you, there's some people I'm friend with in United States where I live, just because we are outside of the country. We found all only because we are outside of the country, we kind of focus on what uh, we have in common instead of what we don't like about each other. And even when I'm outside of the country, that I see a lot of similarity between us. But in there in that country, and let me tell you something. And when they go back, when we go back home, sometimes we we go apart again because our family is still carrying that thought process and that way of thinking and that way of behaving. I mean, it's ugly. That's why I I sincerely believe that we really need the diaspora and the non-continental Africans. I really think that the non-continental Africans should come to Africa and have uh, some position, some influential position in the decision making in the country, even like designing programs, even school program, everything. Even, oh my God, we need the diaspora. To be honest with you, people want to talk about African American. We need you, Black American. We need you in those African countries. Getting to into space like designing even program for television, designing even school program, help into the lawmaking because you guys gonna be unbiased when it comes to making those 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 um those rules and laws. You guys gonna be unbiased because for us Africans, we are so damaged mentally that we cannot see beyond ourselves and our tribe. That is a real thing that's hindering the progress of Africa. We want to talk about investment. How are you gonna come and invest in a chaotic place where people don't even give real value to what's important? When people are only limited in their thinking of their success and their family and their tribe. They just create that everything is so compartmentalized. I don't know, compartmentalized. Like we don't think globally and fluently. We do not. It's gonna be hard. Somebody say what? Hello, Empress. Who is Empress? My name is Empress. I am equally passionate about Africa. I can fire. I can fire. Where are you from? Where are you from? You know, when you live in Africa, you think you have escaped. You have escaped the rough life. You have escaped um, poverty. You don't know that you escaping all that struggle to go into a different struggle, and then you end up understanding that everywhere, every space, that in every space in this world there's struggle, and you start asking yourself, which one do I prefer? Struggling outside of Africa or struggling in Africa? At least in Africa, we know the ins and outs. We know how to maneuver. We know how to get ourselves out of any circumstance or situation we find ourselves in. But when you go somewhere else and you are like, the laws are so strict, even just moving become hard. You are so limited in what you can do and what you. In Africa, if I'm not successful in the city, I can go in the village. I have a free range of anything I want to do, you know. I have a free range of liberty, of freedom. I can do whatever I want to do. Now, with the knowledge that I have now, I can even live in the jungle. I will create a paradise in that jungle for myself. But when you're there, they don't empower you to look at your environment and see the good in it. You know, they infuse you with negativity about yourself. Or you say, I was born in Jamaica, I'm from Africa, I live in America, but I want to live my life for the progress of Africa. There's so much that you guys from the diaspora can contribute to Africa. So much, so much. I always tell anyone that's going to Africa, if you're going to Africa, please, when you get there, do not focus on the elite. The elite is gonna be the people that want to hang out with you, because all these Africans suffer from low self-esteem. When they see someone from the West, especially like an American or I don't know, European or whatever, they can give you everything just to be hanging out, just to hang out with you, just so that other people can see that they're hanging out with someone that comes from Europe. Or we as Rastafari in Jamaica address the loss of black women as impress for motivation. What does impress means? And well, yeah, I was saying that they would just want to live that to hang out with you so that other people can see that they're hanging out with someone from a Western country. We would die for any Western whatever. Western is sign of success, is sign of elevation, is sign of progress, is sign of modernity. So all this elite class will want to keep you exclusively to themselves. That's why I value someone like Go Black to Africa. If Go Black to Africa wanted to be like get to Africa and just hang out with like elite class, he would do that. They would love to even give him even an apartment for free. Just live there so that they can hang out with you and talk with you and mimic your accent, your mannerism. To For them, that's a way of um, that's a way of them to how am I gonna say? That's a way of them to show other people how modern they are, how evolved they are. You know, we call it in how do they call it? How did the French people call it again? Because they had this type of Negro that mimic their behavior, mimic their way of dressing, talking, acting, and they call them evolve. The evolve African. That's how they were called. So a lot of elite class in Africa want to act evolve. You know, Africa needs you guys. Africa needs diaspora so much more than the diaspora needs Africa. And I will always support any diaspora that goes to Africa. Not someone that's going over there and acting a fool. I'm talking about people really trying to adapt and adjust and make a difference. I will always support them because a lot of Africans are ignorant and they just don't know they are ignorant, and they will fight against you if you're trying to enlighten them. It makes them uncomfortable. It makes them feel powerless, and I understand it's a bad feelings, but at one point we're gonna have to sit down and face those feelings, and we're gonna face them, we're gonna acknowledge them, and then we're gonna say what can we do about them. But for now, a lot of people want to live in denial. They really don't like when you tell them the truth. It really makes them uncomfortable. It put them in a position of discomfort that they don't want to deal with. They rather focus on entertainment. When you see a lot of my people online, they like to watch video that makes people laugh and all that. You know. Hello. I don't know how to say your name. Is KL Dollar? Thank you for hopping on the panel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me, guys. What's in your mind?
Okay, thank you for receiving me. You know, this I have seen you some other programs, but I didn't know you have a channel. I just came back from work,
Oh, thank you.
just chilling. You know, but I live in Nigeria though.
You do?
Yep,
Yay! I love people that on the continent.
really.
I love people that on the continent because with you we can I don't know, we can be real. A lot of us we outside of Africa, and sometimes we talk about a thing that maybe are not still applying as we're speaking. Maybe
Okay,
some stuff has changed. You're gonna enlighten us about what has changed, what remains the same.
okay. You know, I watch an type of program, and and I'm not really Pan Africanist. It, I don't know how you see about that.
It depends on what you define as Pan Africanism. I have come to understand that a lot of African misinterpret what Pan African is. is. And I don't believe that if you understand what mean, Pan-Africanism mean, you will be against it. You are by nature Pan-Africanist.
Okay.
My definition of it, you
You
know.
you you stay in America, right?
Yes.
Look, I stay here. I stay here in Nigeria. You know, my job here. I've been to everywhere, United States also. You
Hmm.
know, but I work here, and I start watching YouTube, following that guy, Dynasty Amera. That was the first guy I saw the first time. I don't really like what he was doing. He was trying to know his
He has a
rule.
channel.
Uh,
He has a channel.
Dennis Amera, you know,
Oh,
Dynasty.
dinos. Oh, dinos. I love dinos.
That was the first guy I was following, you know. But I like what he was doing, trying to know his route and everything. Then slowly the fire, the whole fire start turning after some few years from there. That I started seeing the other part of uh, American blacks that do not like Africans, and that was really like okay, and the way they call us, all kind of names and everything.
What do
You
they
know,
call us?
hey, if you listen to most of their children, they call us different type of names.
African Buddhist culture?
Uh, Not really that. You know, you see, you see, when you watch most of their channels and our friends who also came from the United States who really dwell with it, 'cause I'm not really dwelling with them. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not really dwelling with them, so I've never really dwelled with them. I just go do something, they come back. But my friend deal with them. When I ask them what's going on, they will tell you uh, something else. You know what I mean? Like they're not so really friendly like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I started seeing it. What they was telling me, I started seeing it to YouTube. You know that yeah.
You know what? That is don't limit yourself to one or two people, you understand? I am a very good judge of character, and trust me, I don't stay on the I like to go deep. I don't want to stay on the surface, because if you don't understand maybe the history between African Americans and Africans, you will not have a good grasp of what's going on. African Americans, especially the one that are showing interest in Africa, don't hate Africa. If you live in America and show interest in Africa, you should be you are someone that really love African to even show interest. Because if you live here with the perception of Africa that you have when you are here, you will not even want to have anything to do with Africa. Even when they come and talk about Africa in a not so positive way, it's just a way to initiate the conversation and get to learn to know each other. When someone says something negative about you, it's not always because the person doesn't like you. Sometimes it's because that's what the person is saying, and the person expects you to address, to bring an opposite argument. You understand? And we are not very good at that. We are people that are very emotional. We take everything emotionally and personally. Because if we are good communicator, we can address every single thing that we hear from African American and that we don't agree with. And they will do the same too. To me, they are the same people like us, because themselves they take some of the things that we say very emotionally. And we say out of ignorance sometimes, or lack of knowledge. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, okay. That I don't know. You seem like you've been in US for a very long time, right?
Yeah, I've been here 18 years, I would
Oh, wow,
say.
that is long. That is really long.
Yeah, and it wasn't
What's
easy.
your view? What is your view? What is your view of because I'm I'm in your panel, and you say I'm not. That was I'm not Pan Africanist. I'm not.
What is a Pan Africanist? What is Pan Africanism for you?
I'm not pro black.
You are pro what?
I'm pro everything.
Okay, I understand that. You understand. Before being pro everything, right? You have to be pro something before you open your yourself to be pro everything. You have to start being pro yourself first, right?
Yeah,
Because if you say you're not pro black, that means you're not pro
you,
yourself.
you, you I'm not B1. I'm not B2. Look, I'm look. I deal with you individually, and I judge you individually. You
Okay,
understand? So
we
that
understand
make
that.
me yeah, that make me open that through that way I can able to have good network with everybody. Because you need everybody to survive on this earth. You understand?
But you have to start in your house, right?
Yeah,
You have to
you
do
must have to love your family first of all. Look,
exactly.
when
That's
you
what
love your
that means. It's
yeah, when
nothing.
you love your family, you will love you also share that love with other people also. You understand?
Okay, to love your family, you have to love yourself first, as yourself first, right? Do you agree with me?
Look, you must love your family because these are the ones you grow up with, right? When you're hungry, they feed you, right? Those are the one you knows, and when you
But
start
you have
having
to love yourself, yourself, your personal self first. Do you agree with me?
as an African, yes, as African, you must love
No,
yourself.
not as an African. No, not as an African. As you individually. Called Dola. You have to love who Dola is, right?
Yeah, yes, I love myself heavily. Who am I?
Exactly. And then you're gonna progress to loving your wife, loving your children, loving your neighbors, loving your city, loving your country, loving
Uh,
your continent,
uh,
right?
yeah, because you um, at, you live 18 years in America. That is very very long time. I think you judge it is in an American aspect of view. You understand? You judge it. You see it is in America. Look, when you live there for pretty long, I don't know how long you come back to Africa for visiting. I think when you stay in America for about 18 years, your 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 way of fashion, your way of assessment, and your way you view things will definitely be where you stay in your day-to-day life. You understand? So when you base on me loving myself, naturally I will love myself.
No, it's not
Every African
natural.
that come natural. You understand? That come
Not
natural to you.
necessary. So you have to be aware of that you have to love yourself. It depends on your environment. Your environment can turn you against yourself. Do you agree with me? It depends on your experience.
No, look. Yeah, in Africa, in Nigeria, people sometimes don't like you. Might be just because not because on anything, just because maybe they don't just like your face. You understand? So you have to deal with that. Not everybody will like you. If inside your family, not everyone you can go and visit and say, "Can I spend holiday with you?"
You
Because
know, like is different from love, right? Do you understand that?
love is deep. Love you love your mother, you love your father, you love your sibling. These are the people you can live for, and you can also these are your emotions, deep emotions that anything happen to them, you'll be totally broken. You get me? You'll be totally broken. So this is deep love. You can also have a deep love to your wife, but those will take time. Those ones, those are don't just come like that. Those ones you build those ones up. But to your
But
family, these are things that come naturally because they give you life. Those are you don't build those ones up. But with your partner or girlfriend or friend, these are relationship you build up. Then through trust and everything, it might be very deep like. I don't know if you call it deep love, but with your wife, it can be deep love. Because that's because you share things with that person. A lot of deep things. Children, sweat, smell, emotions. Those are that's partners far different.
okay, but before you can love anyone else, what I'm saying, you have to love yourself first. People are growing up, there are people that are against their own self. They don't love themselves, they cannot give love to anyone. And love, let me tell you something again. Love in Africa, Cora, when you're talking about love, that's not something that we are very good at expressing. You understand? Like you're talking about deep love. A lot of people express hate even when they love people. You understand? Even towards your own wife. Sometimes it's so difficult for an African man to show love. They show hate easily. Not hate. I mean not hate. I mean they show, how am I gonna say, it's not a hate. The hate is a little bit too extreme. They have a hard time showing love.
Okay, you see, that's what I said. Uh, you are from Africa, right?
Of course, I'm not Nigerian like my pocket. Where do you live in Nigeria?
I live in Lagos, but I'm not from Lagos. I'm not
Yeah.
a
Where are
native
you
of
from?
Lagos.
I know the
From
Igbo land very good.
no, I'm not an Igbo. Also. I'm from Yoruba land, but I
Ah,
school in
okay.
Benin.
I don't know the Yoruba land. I know.
But
I've been to.
I school in Benin. I went to school in Benin. Mostly, but
I went to Benin. Yeah, I know Benin.
I'm culturally, because I grew up there and do a lot.
Mhm.
I can calm myself. I know the mentality there, but Lagos is where I came to hustle, look for job. That I got a job.
Okay, we have someone else here. Maybe he has something to say, but I have something. I have more question for you, Mr. Kola Dola. I really, because I have listened to you before. In your best friend is Afidamus. You guys click and talk against Pan Africanists. I'm about to get on you on that. I have the opportunity. Thank you so much for coming here today. All right, Ras, Moise,
Salut ma tante, ma musique, comment allez-vous?
ça va très bien. Et vous, comment vous allez?
Ah, je suis très bien, je suis
Okay.
là. So what's the topic about today?
I was wondering why Africa is still, why are we still struggling? What are the
Mm.
reasons? And I expressed my reasons, but I got stuck on the first, and I think that is that like the biggest reason why we still struggling. I don't think there's anything else that overweighs that. Self-hate is why we're struggling, because I believe that if you love yourself, you want good for yourself, and you're gonna go want good for people that looks like you, or that is in your community.
You see, my music, I don't normally agree with you, my music, but I would have to agree with you on that. Like, there's a problem with us, and like you said, it's self-hate. Like the problem that's going on in Africa, in any other country that is majority black, it's self-inflicted. Like we have to see ourselves in the mirror and blame ourselves for that. It's not the foreigners because we allow foreigners to take advantage of us. You see, because I mean, like we can function like the way China or Korea or these Asian or other European countries are winning their countries. We can do the same thing too. As a matter of fact, we can be above these people. But somehow like we have this inferiority complex amongst us. Not all of us, but some of us in the continent. We have this inferiority complex. Like
It's
we think, oh
99.9%.
yeah, like we think that Asian people are better than us, white people are better than us. Like, we can't do anything by ourselves unless we get approved by a certain group of people. And it's truly sad and it's truly sickening because any little things that's going on in the country that we come from, we immediately ask we immediately ask for foreign aids. Why can't we solve our own problem? It's our problem is easily to be solved, but we always asking for other people to help us out. They're not gonna help you out. They're just gonna look out for themselves. You know, people that don't look like you, people that have their own interests, they're not going to favor you. They're just gonna look out for themselves and then for their own people. And that's how, to be honest, like that's how we've been taken advantage of. And then we always become the victim. complain, oh, it's the white people, it's the Asian people, it's that people. No, it's us. We
Russ,
have to look ourselves
okay. You
and
want me to
blame
talk?
ourselves for everything.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah,
know that
go ahead. Auntie.
saying it is so easy to say that is true. What you say is true, but I have noticed that African, like black people, cannot function properly among themselves. The moment that you exclude those people that you guys don't want to include, it's a chaos. It's a chaos. Black people have to heal. That's how I feel. We got to heal. I feel like we need psychologists more than, or psychiatrists more than anything else. You understand? Because after slavery and colonization, we were never given any sort of treatment, you know? And black people are not even aware of like a lot of them, especially on the continent, they don't acknowledge mental health. You're going to see a lot of dysfunction. Like people want to come here on YouTube and brush African family as perfect. There's a lot of things dysfunction, and that are easily fixable if we were aware. I would say it like that. You understand? There's so much dysfunction that we have embraced from, and that dysfunction is the residual from colonization, right? That we have embraced and integrated in our culture, and to the point that today it has become normal for us.
Yeah, very true to what you said, Auntie. But Auntie, check this out, right? Like what you just said, it can easily be solved. So my
Yes,
question to you then is, why do we always asking like the very same people that colonized us like to help us out? Doesn't
that
make any sense to me. Why?
that that's the dysfunction I was talking about. That's one element of it. Maybe Dola has an answer. You know, he's an universalist.
Okay, look. The problem with Africa is really when you talk about the political part of Africa is a level of notorious corruption that our leaders are. So the people we choose to lead us
Very
are
true.
notoriously corrupt. You understand? So it's not like the resources are not there, but how to spread the resources this way everything goes wrong. Since the colonialist time, it's even become more worse. Some of them think they can buy a house with these resources and they want to live like old king. Depends on who colonized you and which country colonized you. For those that be colonized, like English part of it, like Nigeria, some of them take this corrupt money that's not for them, go and buy houses somewhere in Piccadilly or in Oxford Street or somewhere in a Hall Street in London, and proud to come to Africa and said, "Oh, I have houses in London, I have bank account in London, I have 5 or 6 houses in London," and they just sit and be proud. Our mentality, look, our mentality need to change. First of all, even those that went to look, evil get worse because those that even study in these uh, countries that colonize Africans, they are far more worse even than the Africans that live in Africa. That is our part of our who are our leaders. Because the more you expose, the more and when you see corruption, the corruption you seeing is how to pick that money. Think your money will be saved in buy these big mansions in these places, and just be proud and send your children to all those places. So our mentality, that's why if you look at the Chinese never really think like that. I'm not saying all of them, they're all the same. You understand? We want to eat alone. I want to be emperors. And that's what that emperor mind is what is disturbing us as Africa. We don't care about our neighbors, even it's our family. Those are multimillionaires, our family, they want you sometimes to come and serve them, wash their cars and clean their houses. And you will be happy doing this because you think you live in a very beautiful house. Then they give you a boys' quarter to stay highest that what they will do to you. You'll be far more used heavily by your own family member. Then you think about some notorious corrupt people that we voted for elected, we think about you. Hell no. You understand me? So we have to change our mentality. That's why we're struggling. It's not about the white man is coming to have influence in our society. No, they're not. They're long gone. They're not holding your hand. You can change your own mind.
Exactly. Well
They're not
said.
the one ourselves, so they're not the one involved into your budgetary and other things. That's why the problem with Nigeria is just corruption, notoriously corrupt. From cars, from one car to one expensive car to helicopter now to private jet. You understand? That's what problem we have. I don't know much about other African countries, but the Nigeria aspect of it is like they just start upgrading themselves, upgrading that some of them start having a lot of private jet. A guy will have two or three private jets. Is that can you blame the Europeans or the Americans for that? Hell no, because the Americans don't even have that. How can you leave
Hmm.
Africa where there's a better food stuff, a better chicken, a better everything, the weather, everything, but you carry the money and carry over to the other side whereby they'll be feeding you chicken that just grow for 1 week? Think about it. It won't make sense.
Okay, Dola, I understand what you're saying, and you're completely right, right? But those are the symptoms of the deeper issue that I want us to get to the root of. My issue is that we haven't healed. All that corruption you're talking about, where did it come from? European. Okay? That's how European ran the country when they were in charge. Don't forget they were the one in charge. When they left, they they basically built those people to think like that, to continue to perpetuate the behavior so that
But
it can
please,
create chaos,
yes,
to
look,
allow them to
look,
infiltrate us. We become like we don't have value, but the only thing
look,
we value is money.
yeah, look. If look, that's why I said something. You see, we can't blame them. You know, I said we can't blame them because when they left a beautiful structure. They built hospitals. They built city government. They built a lot of other things. A
But they did
beautiful
not build the people, dollar.
look.
You don't understand. The most
Yeah,
important thing is the people, your mind. They
yeah,
destroy your mind.
look. The mind they did destroy nothing because if you have to understand, I'm on the basis of Nigeria I'm speaking on now. You know, in Nigeria. We in Nigeria, like I'm from the village part. I've never seen a white man in my life. I've never seen a white man ruling my local government. I've never seen a white man ruling my state. I never even see a white man in my king palace to talk of the state. You know, even when I came to the state, even when I asked them, my mother, have you ever seen a white man really in these capital cities? No. They, our leaders were the one ruling us, and they were the one doing all these things. I'm talking of the aspect of Nigeria. I don't know other countries.
It's
You
the
understand?
same thing. It's the
Okay,
same
so
template.
what happened after the independence? The people that fought for independence, they were rolling good, right? This was good. To talk, some of them was a little bit corrupt at that time, but the corruption was not so huge. What we're seeing now, you understand? Why Africans are struggling now is just the basis of we like to be king of all king. You understand?
Who
That's
made
what I
us like
said.
that?
No. Nobody make us like that. We always like that. You understand? We always like that. We be like that. Because
I don't think so.
if you don't want to be like that, and because we always look backward. That's what I said. Because we always look backward. What happened in the past, and we still want to remain in the past. If you check
No, I
Europeans,
don't.
the Europeans only look forward. The Chinese only look forward. That's why the Chinese
Okay.
progress. You
Okay,
understand
let
me?
me say
And
something, if you don't mind. Listen, the European and the Chinese don't look forward and don't look backward too, except that they draw from the past to plan the future, which is not what Africans do. You understand? Africans do not even look in the past. They don't. The only Africans that are looking in the past are the ones that want to move forward. Because to move forward, you're gonna have to look in the past to learn lesson from the past. The African in the continent, like our leaders and all that, they don't say nothing about the past. That's why they don't educate us properly. Because if we know our history, I'm telling you, in Dola, we will change a lot. You will see it will help you look through the lens. If you use the lens, our history lens, to look at us today, you will understand why we are. But because they brainwash us, our people brainwash us from childhood, They groom us to grow up and hate ourselves and just be greedy, like you're saying. That greediness is the people came from the people that European trained to think like that and to act like that, so that they can allow them to penetrate our country anytime they want to, because their only value will be money. And that's exactly why it's functioning the way it's functioning. That's by design. It's unnatural for someone not to look out for their own people. That's what everybody else does and accept us, because we accepted money to be our God, basically.
So, Auntie Mamizi, let me ask you this. So, what's the solution to this? So, my answer to that is this. Like, the solution to what you just said is simply this. Like, we have to have like a cultural revolution in the continent, you know, and in each specific country, there has to have like a cultural revolution
That's it.
to get to get rid of all this brainwashing,
That's
because
it.
China did that. No, like
Yes,
China, they
yes.
had a cultural revolution. They changed everything about their country. They have no European influence whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this is their age. We are living in the Asian age. You know, the Chinese, the Japanese. They're the one that's gonna run the world pretty soon. You know. So
That's what it is. There's no two
so
solutions.
we can do the same thing too. We don't have to listen to these Europeans. I see that a lot of us are scared of European. If we step up, they're gonna kill us, blah blah blah. So you mean to tell me that you outnumber these people? You mean to tell me that these people are going to kill all of you guys? No. So
Look,
we have to have a cultural evolution. I
my brother,
understand that
look,
we cannot go war to war with these people, but we have to have a cultural revolution.
my
Period.
brother, look.
Yeah,
Let me just tell the truth, my brother.
I'm
African need
listening to them.
look. When I was growing up, right? When I was growing up, right? I'm speaking under the aspect of Nigeria, right? When I was growing up, right? There's what I will call oil boom in Nigeria. Right? There was oil boom. We were living the kind of the, I don't say the life, not like when you live in a rural area, you only know your rural part of your area, right? We go to school, we come back, school holiday time, we do kind of like feast over there. They kill a big cow, they share rice for you. You come back home. When you want to go to somewhere, you buy a ticket. They will call the bus at that time. You buy a ticket. It's not too expensive. It will take you to the bigger city or to the nearby other towns. Then when I moved towards the city, the city at that time, it was okay. But if you finish the school, you got a job and everything. The corruption was low, but the money was not be heavily sanford. You understand me? But what happened? What happened later was this. These guys, some of the politicians that came in, you understand me? Then they will give you house loan if you want, no matter what kind of job you have, if you want to buy, build a house, they give you a house loan. If you want to buy a car, they give you car loan. You understand? That's what they were doing at that time. But what happened later part, one person, that's what I said, don't blame the Europeans. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. The Europeans, they come and be separating the budget and planning the budget. You understand? Don't blame them that they were far gone. I was even having a British teacher who was teaching me English at that time. He was being in salary. So what happened? The greed of want to carry more. You understand me? So they don't want like a bungalow, what they will call in Nigeria a flat, which is about 3 bedroom, which is very beautiful. If you have that, everybody respect you. So they want to now build the upstairs, the one that the businessmen are building. They want it, and they want it. They start some funding this money. If you give them contract to do road, they will not redo the road. They'll just come and grade it with bulldozers. On paper, it's being fixed. You understand me? It's being fixed. Why did that road is not being fixed? Slowly, 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 you cannot hold. Look, when you don't solve problem of corruption, the corruption will become chaotic. For chaotic, it went to disaster. You understand? You understand? That's the way, because there's no check and balance. When you want to talk, somebody will just bring an army and chase you. or bring police to go after you. You understand? Even we that came from the bottom, it was also difficult. That's what I said. You know, where you start saying pro black or anything like that, I don't believe in it. What am I pro black for? You know the job I'm having, I didn't have it through black people. I just have it. I'm just lucky to be in an area whereby I was looking for a job. I was sitting with a friend that this white guy just came in. We just shake at that time. We just talk, and I did happen to be that I just start telling him my own story because when you looking for something, you just ask, man, where you working? What you doing here in Nigeria? Oh, man, can I have a space? I'm looking for a job, man, just to eat and everything. A little bit, you just make yourself sound sympathetic. Then you just say, wow, really? Do you have this qualification? I say, yes. I studied zoology and all these things. Then that's how I got a job. You understand me? Then they have to put me on the trial. They send me out of Nigeria for a training. You understand? So what I'm trying to tell you that I didn't get that job from an African man or a Nigerian man. So that's what I said. Look, our people, if I have to go through a Nigerian
That's
person,
not an exception, okay?
look, if I have to go through a Nigerian person, I might be, he will slap me a lot. He will deal with me. So what I'm trying to say is that our mind have to change. We have to see things in collective. Africa have to see things in collective again.
Okay,
Otherwise,
to do that, you have to be pro that. That's exactly what we're saying. You have to be pro that. You're saying something like it's opposite. You what the fact that you got your job from a European, you will have love for your brother to give you that to help you get that job, right? We agree that that's not how we are now, and that's why we like they're saying Pan-Africanism. Those people saying that we have to get on code on how to do that, not to be those people that are being the reason why their own people are suffering. That's exactly what we. I don't even understand what you say. To be honest,
yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Because you see things. Look, you see when you live in America for long. I don't know when you in Africa, right? Do you know anything about? You see yourself because you never see yourself black. You just see yourself as home. You
because
just see
I was
yourself.
ignorant, I had no global knowledge of the world. When you come, when you learn about the world and about how things are and what how Africa its view or what Africans represent for the world, you start understanding that we have to protect ourselves. You understand? We have to we have to be the people to stand up for ourselves because everybody else is doing so. America is what it is because Americans say we have to build America. We have to make America be first. America has to come first. We have to build friends. Friends has to be first. When a French person says something, all the whole rest of the French people support that person. If they want to do something, they stand together, hold hands, and build it. That's my understanding of Pan Africanism. My understanding of Pan Africanism is not to hate white people. No, I don't think that Pan Africanists hate white people. No, some people put their personal feeling in there to say that they want to hate people. I even believe that to build, you're gonna need expertise from everywhere. It's not only good because when only African people do stuff, it's chaos, it's ego, it's too much emotionalism. I don't know if that's it.
Look, that's where that's now what you're saying now. I think is part of our solution. Not Pan Africanism. I don't believe in that. That is
But
something that.
that is Pan Africanism, putting
Look,
Africa first. That's what
look,
Pan
look.
African is.
Africans have to think deep. How to do? They were doing things collectively before. They still have to go back again and start thinking. Look,
I don't
you
think they
only
were.
have your
They
country
are,
from where you
they
coming
have
from.
always have European in between them. That's what I know.
Look, you see, that's what I said.
Before
Look,
in Nigeria, let me tell you, before in Nigeria, right, you guys have a student loan. Like my late husband, he came here because the government sent him here. They used to send people here to
those
study and go back to Nigeria.
those
And
are scholarship. Those are scholarship. See, those look. Uh, 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 my father came to the States on scholarship. You understand? My father came to the States on scholarship. That's where he studied. You right? He studied in Florida, in Miami. What they call Tallahassee, right? He went to AM University, which is Agricultural Machinery University. I think
yeah,
at that time he was part of the alma maters. I think the university, it's a black university at that time. You understand?
yeah, it's a
Okay,
historical black university.
it's a historical black
It
university.
is on Florida A&M.
Yeah.
It's called
So he
A&M.
studied. Yeah. So he studied there. You understand? He studied there. He have his masters. He have his PhD. Then he moved back to Nigeria. Those are scholarship. That's when Nigeria were trying to um, other Nigerians to learn a lot. So United States and England was part of the whole where they were pushing them to. You understand? Then my father came back home. That's how our condition from lower to what we call middle class at that time improved. That what brought us to the city. You understand? So
Okay, what's the point?
so what I'm trying to tell you is this. My father went to school there. He acquired the knowledge. He came back. He started working. At that time, it was good. Was very, very good. You understand? But what happened later? You know, what happened later totally changed. It was not the white man fault. It was not the European fault.
You're
The
not
fault was
understanding.
the fault is for the part of the Africans who were notoriously greedy. You know, these are wicked people.
Listen, I don't think you understand. You do like that, like typical average African person think the way you think. Let me tell you, go deeper, one layer deeper. African people, African leaders are incompetent. First of all, about running the country.
I
Okay,
agree.
they are incompetent. The reason why they even stop financing people to go to Europe is because of their incompetence. They don't know how to run a country, meaning that at one point they start having difficulty with funds. You understand? And because they mismanage funds, they have to now come and withdraw from their own people. That's how they turn against themselves, because these people are not don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you.
But
When
but
European left them there, they did not train them properly. It's in our history. I studied that in history.
yeah, but
European first of all told us that we cannot run a country. Okay, so when we begged for independence, we fought for it. They basically give us the country knowing that we were going to fail, and they make sure that they don't transfer the knowledge to those leaders that they pick and choose. You see, the leader were pick and choose by them. They
no,
favor
look,
Exactly.
whoever they wanted to be there.
Ross,
They favor people that is going to
Moss,
serve
let me
the
tell
country.
you, so let me just tell the truth, right? If we start thinking like that, look, look. I, in Nigeria National Assembly, there's no white man there. You understand me? If we start thinking like this, we start going backward. That really, and that's what's making
We're
us
not back, going
even now.
backward.
That's what even make us a little bit. Look, we have an election now in Nigeria, right? We want to throw away these people out. You understand? They know. Most of them, they're gone.
Oh my
They
God,
know
you
they're
don't
gone.
understand. You still
You
don't
understand?
get it. It's not about the
But
people.
see, you live.
It's about
See,
a
you live.
system that
You
they
live.
put in place. They put a failing system in place. We know what a system is, right? It doesn't matter who is president in Nigeria, the system is still gonna fail because it was designed
Uh,
meticulously to function the
Obasanjo,
way it's functioning.
Obasanjo was better than what we have now.
You
This
say
is a
better,
real
but he
war.
wasn't great.
You start so at least Obasanjo was better. Let me give you this thing. That you see, um, uh, uh, um, maybe me and you might come from the different territory, so our way of thinking might be different. You understand?
Don't focus too much on that. There's
So
a great philosopher said that the best thing that everybody in the world shares is common sense. Okay, let's use common sense.
yeah, I understand. So what I try to tell you is this. What I try to tell you is this. What I try to tell you is this. When 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 you want something, right, you're going to get it. You understand? What I'm telling you like that, when the army started ruling Nigeria, inside 90s, we were protesting to drive them out. Finally, we were able to we drove them out. Yes, they were ruthless, but we were steadfast. Yes, we were steadfast. And these people were able to set them out come the 1999, what we call so-called democracy. They could hand over that thing up. Obasanjo get it, it was good. But few years into that regime, their true color of corruption, worse than the military time, started coming out. They now want to become something else. They will not take care of their constituency. People that vote for them in their territories, in their rural areas, in everywhere. Now they want to drive big Benz. They want to start building house within 6 months immediately, mighty mansions. Till now, what we're seeing now that happened to that riot in 2020. In this time around, we want to chase them out. And they know that most of them know is do or die between this new
Listen,
election. We don't blame any foreign person. We see these people.
all that.
Some of them are our relatives. Some of them our people. Because if you
But
start blaming
but
foreigners,
Kidona, let me ask you this, brother. What do you think they got this mind frame, like this mindset
That's what he doesn't
of
understand.
corruption? What do you think
Right.
they get that from?
That's what he doesn't understand.
they get it on their own wickedness.
You see? You don't
Okay,
understand.
fine. Let's say if they got it from their own wickedness. What do we need to do? What do we need to do, like for them to change? Don't you think that there needs to be a revolution? The people need to be
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
look, you don't need you look.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I don't have enough data, so I want to say something real quick. You feel me? Empress, hello. Nice to meet you. I'm crazy over Cameroon. Um, I kind of like Nigeria too. You feel me? I kind of like Haiti too, even though this bro that be on this thing is kind of crazy. And even though me and you argue, bro, Rasmois, you good. We bros. But
I don't hate
Kidola,
you, man. I don't hate nobody
Kidola,
at all. I'm a humanist.
yeah. End with that. Okay. But Kidola, I think you know, an iron board. Just put your head on it and you use the iron and iron out your head, cause you fucking up. You messing up. You calling for unity, but you fight against unity. You're messing up, Kidola.
Look,
You're not
look,
sounding very mature. You see
look.
me?
What kind of
Hey,
unity? What
stop,
kind of
stop.
unity are you
Hey,
talking
stop.
about?
I'm talking. Hey, stop. I'm talking. Let me finish. You're messing up. You're being like a child. I can't believe you people are men. See me? You're
What
acting
kind
like
of
some
unity
little
you talking
bitches.
about? What kind of unity?
Okay. Okay. It can. We're gonna be very
No,
respectful here.
no. It's a. I talk about unity.
Let's be very
Okay,
respectful to my
I
What
will
are
answer,
we
be
man.
uniting
responsible
about?
about. All right, hold on. I'll be responsible about how I talk. But as I said, we are men. We need to set an example to our women. You can't have the lady up here defending you as a man. You a man. This lady is defending the whole continent, and you here talking about, oh, you're not a Pan African, even though she told you that it's an inborn thing. I mean, you are in Africa. If you love a square in Nigeria, you are a Pan African. If you just want to take care of Lagos, you are a Pan African. So all of this type of thing, this is what I'm saying. Why is the African fighting against the one thing that wants to team up with him? The Chinaman, he's trying to team up with you, yes, to rob you and to build China. Same with the white man and the Indian, all of them building their own economies with your wealth. What is the Pan African? Where is the Pan African gonna go with the wealth? If you say we want to team up with you, where go with it? We gonna take it into the black world and do what? Leave Africa outside of the black world? So y'all think theory don't add up. Y'all fighting against yourself deliberately, and you know that, and you don't want to face the facts that you are being stupid. Let me tell you something. All you crying about, hold on,
You
all
took
these
why you
people,
starting
listen,
people?
hold on, all right, all right, people
Don't come.
crying about Africa suffering and all that shit. Did you know you the one causing it?
No, hold on. No Africa is suffering. No Africa is suffering. Don't come with that. Let me tell you, don't come with that shit. You understand? Our leaders are corrupt. We know that, but we can still handle things the way we handle things. You understand? Pan Africanism was
Why is everybody muted?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, stop being a little boy. Grow up.
what, my friend. You're speaking on emotional aspect. You driving things that will not work. You understand? I have a
It's
neighbor coming
going,
here. Hold on, hold on,
bro.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Stop
on,
cutting me,
hold
One
on,
man.
mic, one mic.
hold on,
Okay,
man.
Icon,
Hold on.
make your point, and then Kidola going to answer you. Going to give you a response.
All right,
Let me answer
Go
my
like
you.
that.
all right. My point is made. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
Kiddo.
okay.
So
Let me tell you the truth.
Peter.
Let me tell you the truth. You live in London. You understand through your accent. If you come to Africa and step down on the plane in Africa, you see
Yeah,
that the
but
African.
see,
Hold on. This is not about. We're not singing Bob Marley here, my brother. Everybody can sing. You understand? This is a total different ballgame. If you come down on the plane from, let's assume you land in Cameroon, in Yaoundé, right? In wherever you land there. Nigeria is still very far from you. They have their own system and culture. We might have similar type of emotions, but their own they have different type of traditions they carry out there. If I went to some of these areas, I just cross over to Cameroon, I will see a total different type of system that they run over there. It might be similar, but total different type.
That's not
What
true.
then you think I can just go over there and say, you know what? I
Kidogo.
don't know. I don't know the
Kidogo.
price there. So
Kidogo.
don't say something that will never sell. You understand me? It will
But
never
hold
sell.
on,
It will
Kidogo.
never
Hold
sell
on,
in Africa.
Kidogo.
You know. So when we start talking about Pan Africanism, it will
Is
not
someone
sell.
mute? Is someone? Hello, you muting me?
Yeah, his mic is keep getting muted.
She's
Yeah.
the
How
one.
come my mic is getting muted? Is
She's the
someone
one
doing
doing
it?
it. She's the one doing it.
Hello, Miss Host. Are you muting me? Mamizi. Anyway, Kidogo, let me tell you something, man.
Sorry, it gives me headache when everybody talks. So I'm trying to, whoever has the floor, I'm letting that person talk. Go ahead, keep calm.
Yeah, but it don't make no sense try to conduct people like this. We are men. We know how to talk. We'll cut each other and all that stuff. It's good. We try not to make it confusing
It
too.
gives
But
me headache.
I'm just trying to say to Kidogo, your argument is senseless and useless. You see me? You come on here, you talk no progress, you talk no unity. You are the. I don't like our people being embarrassments to each other. You understand? we as men need to start living a life where our women actually give us respect. You see me? We live our life so simple, it's unreal. You see me? It's like, why you want to live a life where anybody does anything they please with our people?
Can you just
You
point
see
out
me?
what he did that was wrong so that he understand?
It's like it's like this, right? If we as men don't see Pan-Africanism as the thing that gonna give us victory, and we are talking all type of stuff bad about it, right? Yet we have no solution. You feel me? And our woman is going down the drain. The mentality of our woman is going to drain down to the drain. We have we have international people, I mean, outside of our race, teaching our kids. You feel me? And you wonder why we have a immoral vibration towards each other. You understand? You wonder why we going so poor. It is because you fighting against the very thing that's for your progress. You feel me? You can't have your people. Listen. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know what currency is. You feel me? Currency is not money. You feel me? You want me to tell you what currency is? Love, respect, honor of your own people. Willing to work together with your own people. That gives currency. So
Look, look,
ask,
look, look.
hold on, wait, stop cutting me, bro. So ask yourself, why is African currency so bad? Because you fight against the thing, you fight against blackness. If you fight against blackness, you will always be poor because you will always be black. You see me? So B1, you got to be B1. You got to be black first. You got to be in the business of black empowerment. If you black, I mean, you Kidogo is saying, "Oh, I'm not black B1." Well, are you any other color? Which other color are you?
My brother, look, my brother,
Yeah, I don't care
you
what you
what
say. I
your
don't care about that.
your
You
words
black.
are foreign. Your
You
words are
black. You
foreign.
black.
You're talking foreign. Your language is foreign. What you saying, what you saying does not make sense at all
Is your
in
is your
African
black
context.
skin is your black skin foreign?
You can be singing that kumbaya in London. You know what I'm saying? What is your contribution? What is your contribution if me and you see each other? Is it the blackness that will bring me and you together? I have millions of blackness. This is the factory of black in this place here. You understand me? I don't see what you see
Okay, Kidogo, let me explain what he's trying to say.
in
He's
your
not doing a
space.
good job
I'm not
at
going to make no problem with you.
Kidogo. Let me tell you something. He's not doing a good job at breaking it down for you, okay, for you to understand. I don't think that you guys are understanding each other. The purpose of us talking is to understand each other, even when we don't agree. But we have to understand where each person is coming from. What I can fire is trying to tell you is this, right? You are complaining about Nigerian being corrupt, right? You would love to see Nigerian not be corrupt. The only thing that will help those people individually to stop being corrupt or walk away from corruption is the self-love, because if they love themselves, they will love their fellow Nigerian. They will love Nigeria. There is one Nigeria to prosper. No one will be behind them, chasing them like you're saying that you guys are trying to chase those corrupt people out of the government. No one would need. They will basically function. They will activate themselves to think about Nigeria positively and have a great vision about Nigeria. And that's what Pan Africanism is. Like the love for Africa, wanting Africa to do good and the people of Africa to be good. You understand? That's what Pan Africa is trying to instill that love into the black people so that they can think and they can view themselves good and do good by themselves and by their people.
See,
Mamizi, it's good. You good. Like you have gave a female interpretation, and I like it. You feel me? But me as a man with this testosterone and them with testosterone too, I don't care about their little feelings. You feel me? Because when poorness don't care about your feelings, hunger don't care about your feelings. So I tell them like it is. Like you just like a small little tiny brain person who don't want to think over a day. Kidogo.
my friend,
You me?
hold on, man, hold on. Who the hell are you? Why you praising yourself so muscular, man? You a piece of
No,
shit.
you talking about you
You a
none.
piece of
You
shit.
talking
What the
about
fuck
you
are you,
you.
man? You know what I mean? What the fuck are you?
I know
Man,
you
you,
a baby
man,
boy.
you fucking, you crazy, dog. You talk like a piece of shit. What do you mean by
Let's keep it
muscular?
respectful, fellas, please.
What do you mean
Let's
by
keep it
muscular? You're not
respectful.
muscular. You know
That's
I'm
why
an
I'm gonna
African.
mute all of you. That's the thing.
I'm
We're
an
not
African.
here to.
No, hold on, McBusy. This guy talking shit. I'm an African, bro. We
Okay,
don't project muscularity. What you try to see, you have low self-esteem. That's why you only talk about muscularity. You are this, you are that. A
Kidola,
man
my
don't talk like
brother.
that. A man don't talk.
Listen,
The way you
man.
talk,
Listen,
you talking
you
some. Man,
gotta
who the
control
fuck
your
are you,
temper,
bro?
my brother. I know. Listen,
Who the
listen,
fuck?
my brother. I know. So sometimes we get out of character, but sometimes we gotta be stronger than that. Like sometimes I understand.
No,
okay,
the guy came out started insulting. This guy's a piece of shit, dog.
okay, Kidoga. I understand your frustration, and I understand you. I understand you from an African man perspective. But here in United States, there is this gender war that we don't know anything about in Africa. That's why he doesn't understand why you're talking about masculine, masculine. In
Yeah,
Africa,
but look. I'm also a man, and Kidogo.
we know you a man. It's a fact we can say. Okay, we don't need to prove it. So let's not undermine another man because I don't know we don't agree with him or anything like that. That's what's for offending Idogo and is bringing like hindrance to the life. I want us to talk and understand each other. We're here for progress. We're here to try to each person is where they are and we have to
Okay, I'm sorry.
move on.
I'm sorry, Kidogo. For calling you a tiny brain person. I'm sorry. You feel me? But you got to think larger than that. You feel me? We have a whole continent to take care of. You feel me? Stop
Okay,
thinking.
okay, it can fire. He's not going to change his way of thinking by you treating him like that. You're pushing him away further and further. And we don't have to think the same. We have to respect each and everyone where they are. It's all about persuading people. It's all about bringing them to understand what you're trying to communicate. That's what communication is. It's not forcing something on someone and beat them down for not just I don't know not taking it. No, go ahead. You can fire.
Yeah, we in the West have a little issue like that. So, of course, because we are. I mean, listen. In the West, right? To be a Pan African, you got to be radical. You gotta be a no nonsense person. You gotta act, you gotta be willing to take no nonsense either. So I'm sorry for speaking to you this way, but it's a matter of urgency, and sometimes we don't care about who get left out. See me, because some people acting like you they want Pan Africanism to come bow and beg to them for their own benefit. You see me, and I'm trying to tell them that, bro, the hungriness, the wants don't require this type of manners that we supposed to have to non-pan-africanists. You feel me? If you a non-pan-africanist and you black, you worthless. You feel me? And you only get worthiness, you only get worth until you tighten up your act and know that there's no other choice. You don't, it's not like there's a choice. You feel me? And it's like everybody be talking about the opposition of Pan Africanism, and they never give a solution. Everybody just oppose. Like, what do you propose then? You feel me? And if you can't propose, then don't you think you should shut up? Because why oppose if you cannot propose? What are we gonna do if we oppose and don't have nothing that you propose? That means you should be quiet. You see me? And until you come with a proposal, then you come with your opposition. You see me? And Pan Africanism oppose white people and imperialism and all that stuff. You see me? In fact,
Okay,
um,
I have
we
a
wouldn't
question.
want. Yeah,
You can. I don't agree with you. Not everybody has to be Pan-Africanist. I don't agree with that. Some people are just where they are, just living their life, just be happy to be, just to be. Okay? I don't think that everybody has to be, because you have to understand what Pan Africanism is and what it requires to be. It's not just something that the people are gonna be like, oh. And also, on another hand, it's not about emotion. You're giving too much emotion. You're talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
a
I'm yeah. I'm sorry about that, but let
you're
me
talking
tell
about
you,
being a man.
Mamizi. Hold on, Mamizi. I'm thinking that you have just come onto this type of vibration maybe a couple years ago. Well, I have been treading this road as for Pan Africanism and for the upliftment of Black people for 30 years. You feel me? I
Maybe
have been
you
standing
need
strong
to
for the
take a break. Maybe,
continent.
maybe
Huh?
you need to take a break. Maybe and
Hold on.
There is no,
Look, hold on, hold on, hold
hold
on,
on,
hold on, hold on,
Mamizi,
hold on, hold on.
Mamizi. There is no break. There is no break, Mamizi.
so it's a
When,
war
hold on. What
against
date? What date did? Hold on. What date did I stop being black? At what
my
date
God.
did I stop being black?
It doesn't matter.
So that means the fight for blackness don't stop until we win.
What are you doing to win it? Just talking on
Look,
the internet. I don't even
Mark
know
Busy,
what you look like.
Mark Busy, look, this guy talking,
Uh, Let Mamizi talk.
Mark Busy, play, wait. Let me address this guy. If you live in London,
Don't
I don't know
insult. Please address without
I'm
insulting.
not, yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
please.
insulting. I
Oh,
just want to give
my
him,
brother.
I want to give him a sense of
Now,
Mamizi,
wahala. Oh, my brother. Now,
Mamizi, stop
wahala.
controlling stuff. Let the
let
man
me
talk.
Okay.
let me give him
This guy.
let me give
Thank
him a
you,
sense of
African millennial. I'll be here
talk.
by
Listen,
myself.
Mark
This is
Busy,
what it
Mark,
can be.
let me talk. Let me address this guy.
Okay, go ahead.
My friend here in Nigeria married to a Cameroonian lady, right? They have children together. They live here in Nigeria, right? They have everything. If I visit their house, right, I will see the culture of that Cameroonian lady coming out, the food she cook, and the way we address it. Yeah, we're all Africans, but I can see relate to where she's coming from, not just Cameroon, because she always tries to tell us about his village, and we also let the husband understand where she's coming from. You understand me? That's the way we roll. We don't just we don't we here in Africa. Every man and every woman knows his position. We don't say masculinity like the way
No, we don't do that. Mm-mm.
You just said nothing. You just said a bunch of
your low
nothing.
self-esteem, your low self-esteem is
Let
making you
him
to
talk,
stand.
please. Let him talk.
Married 3 women, 4 women here. They don't say I'm masculine. You can't even control one. I can control 3. So that tell you that you are the one low in self-esteem. You understand me? Men that talk about masculinity, they are the one far more low. You know what I'm telling you? We respect each other here. Those 2 idiots,
Kidoga,
you
Kidola, I think it's a cultural issue. Just leave that one. I understand you, brother. We don't have the gender war. We know women know exactly her place and her role, and the man knows his. We don't.
that's
I
what I'm
don't.
trying to
I,
yeah, that's what
the
I'm trying to
first
tell,
time,
him is that Africa can come look, we can do things individually to keep
Could
peace.
someone else talk now? Ross
Yeah,
Noise?
okay. Just one 2 seconds. The way we can come as part of everything, we Africans have love for ourselves. The only thing that we need to make that love a little bit respectful for each individual country, depends who ruling those countries. You cannot group Africa as one. We're already a nation state. Individual nation states. even during the traditional time. So that's why I said we can do this together, like what they did in the way back by coming together to ask for independence and let each other rule each other. We can be we can come to solve society problem, but let each individual country be on its own identity. That's where it help, bro. Thank you, brother.
Pan Africanism doesn't ask to erase identity, Kidola. I think your misunderstanding of Pan Africanism is what it's creating the issue in your mind. That's not what Pan Africanism is. It's not like, oh, we're gonna hold hands together and be what. I don't think that's what it is. They're just saying that they want the progress of Black people. You can
Hey,
take
Kidola,
Nigeria and
Kidola, you sound like a Bruni.
oh my God, it can't. Anytime, every time
I'm
anyone
playing,
wants
I'm
to
playing, I'm playing, I'm playing.
cry,
That's a wrong term.
I'm gonna mute him.
Say oh you both.
Okay, Millennial, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um
Yes.
yeah, so first and foremost, thank you for letting me on.
Thank you for being
Um
here.
yeah, well I did I know people saw this, but I wanted to make things clear. I did make a rant on some Cameroonians because some of them are annoying.
What did I
Uh
do?
Do you know this guy named Jude?
I know
Jude?
Jude. It's always everywhere.
Yes. He keeps on speaking on West Africa and not like, oh, I like West Africa. Like he's saying West Africa's cursed. And I'm like, you need to stop talking about West Africa if that's what you're gonna say, because why are you talking? Like this is annoying. Okay. And Kifaro, but I made up with Kifaro. He was tethering a little bit. I'm like, why are you guys not dealing with the diaspora issue? But you know what? Whatever. I've made up with him. But listening to this stream, Kidola, you were talking about Africans love themselves. I don't see that. I think Africans love their tribe. African love their family, but to say Africans love themselves, I'm sorry, I don't see that because you can't tell me Africans love themselves, right? But then when African comes to your country, you want to kick them out. Like Africans are not nice to other. I don't know why Africans want to always deny that they're like not they're nice to other Africans. They're not. Like they're really not. Like if you go to another African country, you don't have money, they don't want you there. Let's just be honest about that. Like Africans don't have this undying love for each other. They do for white people, for you know,
Foreigners, non-African. Just say it like that. Because when people say
yeah,
white people, it's
right.
not only white people. You can be from the poorest country. Which one is one of the poor country that has that earthquake? They're now rebuilding. They're even better than African now. What is that country? They have a lot of their women in United States, and white people want.
Botswana.
No, no, it's in Asia.
Oh,
Um,
Singapore, Singapore.
no, not that one. Singapore is way advanced now. One of the poorest country in the world. Now they're also coming out of poverty a little bit. They
Oh,
were very
Vietnam, Vietnam.
no.
Sri Lanka.
What is it?
Bangladesh,
The Philippines.
Philippines.
Oh, Philippines.
Philippines.
Even the Philippine people are better. Oh my God, Africa. I have a friend, right? He married a Filipino. Guess what? He comes to the African gathering, bragging about how he has he can never marry an African woman. Now he's married a Philippine. I'm looking at him like this. I'm
He
like,
needs to be shot.
I'm like, really? I mean, if you see what he posts on Facebook, bragging about her and like putting other African girls down, the one that he's had dated before, I'm like, African people know how to hate themselves. Not that you should not marry anybody. I don't even care about that, but you don't have to come and put your own mom and sister and other people down. That's ridiculous. Just that tells a lot about yourself.
And you see how we quick to fight. You see the type of things we quick to say to each other. You feel me?
Yeah, like
That's how we don't appreciate each other.
yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
understand that. Yeah.
Oh, what I want to say, right? Like, I don't like it when certain Africans, I won't name who they are, but they want to act like they like the diaspora and they don't. I mean, well, maybe some of them love them, but they're always thinking about how these people can bring money, help the country, and it's like you haven't done anything for them. Like, let's just be honest here. There's two, I think, African countries that have reached out to Haiti. It was Congo and Senegal. Other countries, it's like, oh, Haiti's just Haiti. Like, who cares? And it's like, okay, fine. I get it. So then, if that's the opinion that you have of Haiti, it makes sense why you don't mess with other West African. Like, it's like, again, I don't want to make it seem like Africans don't love each other or don't have a culture,
But
but
Africa
like
has
the
never
predominant
always been
thing
that
is
way.
not liking black people. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It don't.
Empress. Africa has always been that way.
You finish African millennium, nobody's gonna cut nobody.
Yeah, yeah, I'm finished. I'm finished.
Okay, now it can.
Okay, can I interject real
Yeah,
quick? Let's say something real quick.
Okay, Raz, hold on
Let's say
one
something real
second. Let
quick.
I can say something.
Okay, it, AM is right. It's not only well, it wasn't only like two African countries that gave a helping hand to Haiti. It wasn't only like Senegal and Congo. It was more than that. Like Gabon help out Haiti. Gabon, like surprisingly, like Morocco allowed some Haitian student like to study in Haiti, and they even allowed them to stay in Haiti. Shockingly, like Morocco is not even a black country. It's mostly like Berber and Arabs. So in a way, they help out Haiti. Senegal did, Gabon did, Cameroon like even help out Haiti. Like Congo Kinshasa give out like I think $10 million during the Haitian earthquake. So I mean, is it enough? No, I would not say. I would not say it's enough. That we need more, and I do
Let
think
me
in a
guess.
way that like the African Union should allow Haiti to be a 55th member of Africa. But I know it's not going to happen because geographically Haiti is not part of the continent. But the Haitian people, like we came from various tribes in Africa, and then some of us we can tell you like the tribe in Africa that we descended from.
Everyone,
So
it was nice talking to you all. Momizi, African Millennium, Kidogo, Rasmus, respect to y'all, and Amara.
All right, thank you, and Campfire. Thank you. Amara, you have the floor. You've been waiting for a long time.
Hello, my sister, Mama Z. Hey, I was there. Hey, I was dancing. Well, I don't know what party I went to 2 weeks ago.
You
I was
saw
dancing
me
the
go?
can. No, can that bongo man came on? What? The dance floor bust open. We were dancing can that bongo man.
What is that?
Uh, you don't know can that bongo man?
No,
Yeah, for real. You don't know any Makosa,
I know
any.
Makosa. That's our music, Makosa. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So you don't know any Kanda Bongo Man song, you don't know any Kanda Bongo Man dance or nothing?
I don't even for listen. I'm trying to stay away from actual
Those parties?
not only the party but even my people. My people are dumb, so dumb. They are stupid. They are short-sighted. They are all they care about is what dressing, trying to dress, dance.
um,
No, but it was a nice
General.
party. I mean, all the other African countries came over there, represented. Ah, man, we had a good time. We had a real good
Yeah,
time. Until the morning hours, people didn't want to go to. They were like, "You got to go to work." People didn't want to leave.
typical, typical. I don't go around those people unless
Anyway, on the Pan Africanism thing, you see, that's true. Um, Africans, we really think of our tribe and our country. Really, let's look at ourselves. The only reason why we all together, all Africans are together, like in America, is because they discriminate against us. So we need each other to help each other, like here in America. But once everybody goes home, nobody really cares about the guy next door. Like West Africa, we are in and out of each other's countries, and it's an open border. So that's not a big thing. But really, Africa per se, we just opportunist people. We come over here, get our degrees, try to get these big jobs. If even back home, I had problems with some of my family members. Like we have two lands, like in the village and in the city. Some of the ones in the city, I say, I'm gonna go back. I'm retired now. I'm done with my job. My family is all over there. I volunteer. We're gonna set up the structure of our farm in the city. The way we got it over here. I said we're gonna hire our own people. They wanted something easy. They want Chinese to come in or some white guys to come in. They do the work there. They give them some money so they could stay in their jobs over here. They getting money over there. I was like, no. So, we got this mentality of respecting other people. What I do, we set up our structure. We build the place. They was like, oh, you have to hire a white man as a consultant. I say, what about all these guys at the university? People are going to the university, they got 2-3 degrees from the local universities. Why don't you hire them as a consultant? They're agriculturists from the universities. They're all these people that know all these things. But when people ask, they say, you guys are hiring a white man. You got to hire a white man to come in and do your... No. We have to change our mindset. We respect white men, Chinese, all these other people over Africans. When you set up your business over there, you locally produce anything, it's hard to sell. The only way they buy what you need is if it's cheap and they can get it. Sometimes they don't even want to pay full price, But anything is imported from overseas. It comes to Africa, they want to brag about it. That's what you should do. Like when you build your house, they ask you, oh, where do you get the materials from? You're supposed to put overseas. I said, sir, I put overseas things in my house, but I put some African things too. It's not everything you have to come over here, buy, put it in a container, and go over there and brag to your next door neighbor about what you have in your house. Yeah, we have that mindset. So really, we're real opportunists. Even when we come over here, number one thing, go to school, get a degree. If you can find a nice white people that you work for, they'll give you a nice job or a little promotion, and you make good money, and you take care of your family back home. They're not even thinking about the country. They think about their family members and stuff like that. So we're real opportunists and individualistic. Really, even look at Mexicans over here. Mexicans, when they come to America, they're like 20 of them in a house. And that's a typical African thing. Back home, you sleep anywhere. You see what I'm saying? 50 people in a house, 30 people. Your parents or grandparents take strangers. They bring them to the house as kids to help raise. If they're putting them in school or they're giving them a business, they do that. You guys leave all together. But as soon as people come over here to this country, that's why we can't get ahead in this country at all. Because everybody want their own. Like one of my peoples, he drive trucks. We were all 5 of us in the house. Everybody was sharing bills. You got your girlfriend, you go somewhere with your girlfriend or whatever, stuff like that. So it was all boys. Next thing you know, everybody want their own privacy. they had somebody come over, a guest come over, somebody playing loud music. You have these little petty things. Then you move and get your own place. Now you're working The guy working 2 jobs. I know some that work 2 jobs. They ain't want to stick around, go to school, get a degree, wait. They want to buy nice clothes, nice cars, shoes, whatever, brag and do whatever. Instead of all sharing, we'll wait. When everybody go to school, you get a degree, then everybody can, go to their own house. We don't do that. You have people that they want their own thing. You see, we're too opportunistic and individualistic. These places that are so individual about individualism really show that part of us. That when we're in Africa, we're just sharing things just because people don't have much, so you have to share. You don't have no choice.
You know
But in the
what?
back of their mind, they can't wait till they come overseas. They got their own place, they got their own everything, and that's why we're struggling. Because if 4 or 5 of us in a house, nobody's married yet. Why don't we share bills? And till you get ready to get married, then you buy your own house. You know that way you go. When you go with a lot of money. But that's our problem.
But
That's a real problem.
Amara, Amara, you
Yeah.
know what? What I really appreciate about you guys nowadays, as of now, like a lot of you guys now trying to tell the truth about us. In the beginning, when all this thing about Africa started here in YouTube, Africans were very like fake. They would never acknowledge. Even you, Amara, I listened to you before. Like to be honest with you, I know how you guys started. Like um, a lot of you guys were fake. A lot of people turned against me because they're like, "Oh, you talk too negatively about Africa. That's who you are. What you just
No, but
described.
no. Let's talk
That's
the truth. Those
exactly who you
people,
are."
those people, we're not comfortable with them. They just as black as we are, but we're not really comfortable. They are strangers. So Africans, to ourselves, we gotta protect ourselves
No, that's
until
not
we got
protecting. That's
huh?
digging a hole. That's not protecting to me. That is digging a hole to die into. You know what I don't like? I'm gonna tell you guys something I don't like, right? I rather like say the truth, even though it's gonna make myself uncomfortable, because someone else that has the knowledge that can come in and help us, like see something we're not seeing. We can have a problem. It's okay. It's like an illness. Let's say somebody is suffering from something, right? And we're hiding, and that's something that we do even in Africa. Some people don't feel comfortable discussing what they're going on, that they have what they have going on. What it does, it can seal the truth, and it doesn't give opportunity to someone that's knowledgeable on the matter to kind of like maybe create a solution, or maybe let us figure I mean help us figure it out, or I don't know, or create awareness so that other people don't relive the same thing that you've been through. We African, we like to lie. One of our issues first is lying, pretending. Even what you're saying about like everybody want to look like this, do like this, one what you have in your hand. What do they want it for? Just to look like there's something else than what they are.
Look, look,
And we ashamed
Matilda.
of it.
No, look. Let me just tell you the truth. You, as an African, look,
Why you
you can never live the life. You can never live the life. Let me just tell you the truth. Let me be honest to ourselves as Africa.
let me let me meet
You
Tamara.
understand? You understand? As an African, right? You see, one thing I hate really when I see Africans started pandering towards the Black Americans, because you know why? Because you can never live their type of life, and you can never have their type of feeling, and you can never wear their type of shoes. You understand? Uh,
What does that even mean?
Hold on. No, I'm saying it. We Africans, no matter how long you stay in the States or Europe and everything, come a time you want to come back home. You know why? Because you'll be made and molded in your territory. I'm not talking about Africa, but just talking about your territory, where you from. Amara says he's coming back home. You know why? Because he's coming back home because that's where his emotion is. Yes,
We
so when he's
understand
there,
that, and that's why we saying all everything we saying.
when he's there, he will try to fix first of all his street, then before his town, and before the state, and before the top level. If we stay too long in a place, I've seen my friends who stay in America for too long, they become depressed. They just come and talk blah 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 blah. Really have some mental issues, emotional issues. You understand me? So will you as an African stay in a place for too long because you're not slave, you're not being slaves. So you
What
can
you
never really.
talking about, kiddo?
No,
Please,
no,
I
no,
don't
no, no,
understand.
no, no. I'm trying to say something like, don't see things like the way the Black Americans see things. You understand?
There's not.
And what Africans, I believe, what Africans are there going to school trying to get a job because the people, the dark skin they met there, they have nothing. They don't have nothing, so they have to start again on their own.
But
And something
Kidola, we have nothing.
we
Africans
have
have
a lot.
nothing.
Do you know what? We don't have nothing.
You don't have
Africa
nothing.
don't have nothing.
You don't have nothing.
Do
You
you know
are
what Africa
on.
don't have nothing? Okay, let me just tell you, let me just tell you this truth. When you don't have nothing, you have to be like the Black Americans who does not have no land, does not have a space of their own. Even the Jamaicans have a space of their own where they can go to and relieve their stress. Africa have land, we have our relatives, we have our food, we have our
Oh my
culture, we
God.
have everything that makes us
Solution.
happy. We have a lot. We have a lot for ourselves.
We
We are
have
just
all
like
that, but we're
we're
not
just like the
managing it
Vietnamese.
correctly.
We're just like the Philippines. We're just like others who have their own land. We have a lot, and we still have a lot. We have a lot. Forget
But
about
we're still
the,
deprived of a lot of stuff. We're not even enjoying what we have. That's the
the
issue.
problem. The problem we have is governmental,
What
but
are we
not
talking
on
about
the
then?
natural. But not on the natural side.
It
We have a
doesn't
lot.
matter. I'd rather
Go to
not
your
have anything.
go to your village and celebrate their New Year festival, all these traditional festival. Then you know how lucky you are to be human being than to be
Listen,
somebody who just float.
Kido,
Let me be
listen,
honest.
Kidola, listen. I don't know what you like. I feel like we turning in, we going in circle because you don't even understand what the foundation of what we're speaking on is. Listen, African people have everything, right? But they not be able to enjoy it the way they're supposed to. You talk about Nigeria before. You see how it was more enjoyable than today, right? Because we let everything go, right? We did not make sure that we keep things going the way it was going. It degraded. We sold our soul. What we worship is money. We have no real value as today. You go to Africa, you can buy everything and anything. Even in the like in my country, for example, right? My tribe is the tribe that's very conservative, and we've been bullied by other tribes because we want to keep tradition going. They make fun that we want to keep the kingdom going. What are we gonna do with it? In my part of the country in Cameroon, it's called the Bamileke. That's almost like where you still have all that kingdom that's still very respected. But even now, with money, you can penetrate the secret society in there. You can buy people to tell you what's going. It was before it was so taboo that even ourselves in the village did not know what's happening in there. It was like a myth. They will not tell you. It will bring how do a misfortune if you tell something like that to someone. But now with money, the power of money and government, like hiring them as a civil servant and giving them a salary. Not everybody is just loose. That's what we're talking about, Kidola.
Let me give you Amara. Let me give you this thing. Let me just look. Let me give you this thing. Sometimes we're so busy about the negativity part. I bet you, right? If if I take if a foreigner, you take a foreigner out, right, in Africa, right, you take that foreigner out, you went to like just go and eat something alone they say on the street, just that fruit alone, the way they look at it, I'm very happy to have that fruit in their hand. Not every white people you see like money or want money or everything. That's what I'm
Hello?
telling you this. So don't make a mistake that, oh, every white person you see or Western people like money
What
like that.
happened? I don't know. Can you guys hear him? I cannot hear him.
I'm hearing you. You hearing me? You hearing me? You hearing me? Amara.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. Okay. So
I
so
hear
what
you.
so let me just tell the truth. Is because you see Africa we're talking about
Can you
now.
guys hear him?
I can hear him.
Yeah, you're not hearing me. Are you not hearing me?
I can hear him, my Manzi.
Okay. Africa, man, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear me. Let me just tell you the truth. You see, we criticize Africa is not working. Africa is working. We have fruits. We have everything. We have nice life. You understand? We have everything here in Africa. If you bring a Western person to come to Africa, he will so admire the weather. He will admire everything. You admire everything we have. Our food are natural. Our things are natural. You understand? If you live in Western world, what kind of food are you really eating? You struggle to have vitamin D.
That's
Depends where you
true.
stay. You understand me? Depends where you stay. You struggle to heat your house. You understand me? That depends where you stay. Yeah, we don't have those problems. You understand me? We enjoy everything here. That that's what surprised me when the Western person come. When I mean Western, I mean Europeans come over here. They so love it. They don't complain. They just adapt. They just adjust. They just this is life. They will tell you this is life. This is life. You know, it's only we Africans like. It's only we that like useless things, fake things. If you put the Europeans down, you see why? You see sometimes why I like the Europeans. The Europeans would like to go for the authentic something, but we Africans we like to go for the fake one. You understand me? How can you compare Africa that the Europeans love to come and enjoy? You understand me? That's what you see. That's what you see. If you put diaspora down, black diaspora down in women, then you put a native African woman down. European woman will tell you like to go for the African woman because it's far more authentic. You understand me? Far more authentic. You understand me? The European they will eat the best jollof rice. African man will go. That's why we need to think like them also. We need to follow their logic. You have to love where you're coming from because by the time you leave this continent, Africa, you will regret that you'll be struggling with a lot of things. You understand me? That's why I try to say that here is even far more better because everybody you bring here will enjoy it. It happened to be. I'm not married to Nigeria. I'm not even married to a black person. When I take my wife out here in Nigeria, I see the way she enjoy. No complaint. Nothing. We just have nice time. You know what I mean? He eat fufu when they make fufu. He eat yam when they eat yam. I also eat our own country food also. I like
Does
their
she eat
mashed.
pepper soup?
Yes, I like
Okay.
sometimes their mashed potatoes, salad
Okay.
because they eat a lot of salad a lot. You understand me? Salad a lot. I eat their I eat the- their bread and cheese. You understand me? They also have their food they eat. We share culture like that. You understand? They just adjust. You understand me? And they will tell you you don't know how lucky you are to have all these things. You understand me? The government might be a problem. They will tell you the government might be a problem. They didn't know the government need to do better. But man, they're looking in a total broader way. That you're gonna leave Africa and start dancing with chicken that just been grow with it 2 weeks.
Yep.
I said, oh, I'm living the life. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
You don't live in the life. That's why the Europeans know what's called authenticity, what's called authentic. You understand
Kiddo,
me?
I not to cut you off. I just want to say this. You know, when I went back home, I was eating my gari. I stopped all whatever. Because my wife was here, I was struggling because my wife goes back and forth, and sometimes I struggle for food and stuff like that. My sisters don't cook for me. I don't. So when I went back home, man, I got my gari. I so enjoyed my gari. You know what I'm saying? Then I had my gari and pepper soup. Then I had they made like 2 balls of fufu extra to the side if I want to change my mind. You see what I'm saying? So I finished my gari, and then I went to the fufu and pepper soup. Then I went to the fufu and okra soup. Man, I was enjoying myself. And guess what? Everybody was looking at me. Oh, why you eating like that? Oh, you're over there in America when you have spaghetti, chocolate. Yeah, you come
Those,
over here, you want to be all local. Like I said, hey,
those things
I
will just
said you are number one thing because our problem is when you live in a life particularly in West Africa, when you live in a life in a big city, the big cities, you understand? If you don't go to take your girlfriend to these supermarkets, you understand, and buy stuff from over there, you're not the man. If you don't eat all the stuff in the supermarket, you're not the man. If you go to the market and buy all that stuff, they look down on you. But it's disease. This processed food, it gives you a lot of disease. Organic food does not. But when I came over here, that's when I opened my mind to a lot of things. And when I went home, man, I went to the village. I stayed in the house over there. The next day, everybody was those guys that want money from me. Oh man, when you coming to the city? I said no. I'll let you guys know. I'm enjoying life in the village. When they kill the goats, fresh. They kill the chicken, fresh, rich, organic food, man. You're enjoying the goats. You're enjoying the chicken. You know, they put this big tray. Man, I'm not ashamed of eating with my hands. One, everybody looking at me. Oh, actually American. I said I'm eating with my hands. Two, they put that big tray.
have
Put
you
that
ever
big
seen
tray. Everybody eats. I'm eating. I don't think I'm
Amara, what are they brushing their teeth with in the village? Not true stick?
too sick.
True stick. Are they
Too
going to the
sick.
dentist? Are they going to
That
no?
no.
And their teeth look
No,
very
man,
healthy.
I was there when I had malaria. They had this tree. They cut this thing off the tree. They soak it into these bottles, these used bottles. They
Yeah.
add water in there. Then they put the tree back. The piece of the tree. They cut it into small pieces. They put it in that thing. They soak it for 2 days. Man, I drank that thing one time. Malaria gone. But when we go to the pharmacy or to the hospital, they give you 60 tablets. You have to take all the 60 pills before the malaria is out.
Those tablets will destroy the kidney later. You
Yeah.
understand me? So that's what I'm trying to say. Because when you're an African, you try to I don't understand. You try to feel it's not bad. It's not all just bad like that. My man, you have to think about the life. What is the quality of? Yeah, the governmental aspect that can be taken care of, but try to see the positive part of it also. That's what I always said. Because why I'm always saying it, McMills is seeing things like Black American way. I know she's leaning towards the Black American thing, but I try to let her understand. Look, you can never feel like them. These people are different. Their culture, they've been uprooted for a long time. The way they think, the way they reason things, you can see things. Africa cannot see things like the way they see things. There's a guy that came, just started talking about masculinity, and this and that. There's a man. Have you ever been to Nigeria? Have you ever been to Africa? If you land in Sierra Leone alone, Nigeria is still very far on the sky. You understand? You know, we respect each other's space. That's the way we operate. We cannot operate in different. It's a tribal society. Only when you marry a fellow African woman from another place, you know how tribalistic it is. That woman
Yeah.
will tell you straight where she's coming from. You understand me? She will not joke with it. But yeah, you will adjust. She will cook her part of food culture for you, and she will also eat yours. But you cannot just think, Kuma, yeah, boy, come on, to stick together or Pan African level. Oh, yeah, man, you talk about tribe that been existing for thousands of years. You understand?
Kidola, not to cut you off, man. I got a confession. West. I'm telling you, Mama Z and African Millennium, y'all don't take this lightly. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing like a West African woman. You don't know how much for me, I don't know about anybody else. When you with for me, when you with all this other type of IRD dates, all that type of women, Jamaicans, African Americans, that's when I miss my West African women. Oh man, I miss you guys so much, man. To the point that I say, something, this experience is over. Because when I came in, when you particularly in these English countries, you go listen to the radio, rap music, TV, they're showing all the shows and whatever. So we you wear the clothes and whatever. To live the city life, you have to dress like that. You have to be like that. When I come over, I said the more I deal with African American people, is the more I appreciate West African women. I miss them when I was there. I miss them so bad. I said to myself, when I lay hands on one West African woman, the right type, and that was my wife to this day. We've been married for 13 years. I'm not gonna let you go.
You know
Man, you don't
why?
know what you have
Amara, you know why?
until. Mhm.
Amara, you know why? You know why sometimes it's like that? Because that's what I try to tell when they seek Pan Africanists or Africanists, I say, look, like the other guy that just left, I fire, whatever, that just started insulting. When somebody is black, right, then you expect some certain things from that person. Because when that person did speak, you think the person is from your hometown, right? Right? Then when they started speaking, started doing things, you start not what you expect from that person based on what you seeing things on where you're coming from. Then you start seeing that person start behaving like a black but behave like white person, even not even really white. So it now become not too authentic. Then you become more confused. You understand? And that is the problem. Because if you marry, let me say you marry to a Mali person or a Ghana person, you know what to expect from a Ghana person. You understand?
Exactly.
Exactly. So when you marry to a Jamaican or to somebody in where you stay in the United States that is dark, and you thought you know what to expect in a sense of African culture or West African culture, there's not what you're saying is being kind of then it become total different ball game. That will even more confused than any other thing. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you be with a white person, you know what to expect. Okay, this person, right? You start seeing the culture of them coming out immediately. You understand me? Then they just start asking you a question like they're very sharp. They're very very smart. What is part of your culture? They start learning. They start seeing. They start seeing. That's okay. You are not allowed to do this or not. Okay. They will never cross that line. They will never cross that line and say, "Oh, okay. Why did you try this?" No. They will just but what you told them, that's what they will follow. Only thing, they don't like lies. Don't lie to them. That's just only one thing. Don't lie to them. I have three beautiful children, my brother. I've been years married with this, years married to this woman. Years married since 19 we together in 1997. So you just check that. 1997. I found my job 1996. Inside my job we met. You get me?
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
see, you are in the best place because the person is in Africa. You see what I'm saying? So you are in Africa, the person is in Africa. So the culture is right there in our face. You see what I'm saying? But it's different when you are like in America and you I'm
Yeah,
telling you. You know, West African woman. You know, you like the other day you're in traffic. You think like eating some puff puff and plantain or fried fish, or you feel like eating some eba, or you feel like eating some kinky balls. You say, call on your phone. You say, hey, my woman, can you prepare some
yeah,
nice things for?
yeah, because that will
Yeah,
make you because that's because you're an African. You understand me?
yeah, man. I
You,
miss them,
you,
man. I'm telling you, kiddo,
if
like,
you
I swear to God, I miss that.
if you put your African if you throw away your Africanism out, you'll be depressed.
I'm
You
telling you,
if you throw away your culture, you throw away your what make you as an African, right?
I'm telling you.
What make you as African? You throw it off just because you want to blend in. My brother, you'll be very, 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 very depressed.
Yeah,
Very depressed.
I'm sorry for this guy. There's a guy that is over here. He got a Korean woman. I mean, that you see, like kid or like you are in a best place because the woman is in Africa. You know, so she see African culture every day. You see what I'm saying? So you in the
Yeah.
best place. Then people like us, that we're over here and trying to get people to think that way. Boy, I'm telling you, man. I say, you know, it's just this places. That's one thing. My number one thing. I say if this all these black women in America, if they had like the way they a lot of them are in America, if they had West African women just like that, everywhere you look is a West African woman. You know, I would have stayed in America. I wouldn't have gone back. But I miss, you know, there's certain things that you say, nah, man, nah. The only way you can do this is to go back home. Yeah, like my wife, I filed papers for. You know, I went over there. First of all, the girls they were looking at me. I didn't want to look at them because they were all about going to the beach and whatever. My
Amara,
wife was in a small town.
Amara,
Small town.
if you come to Lagos here, right?
Mm.
If you come to Lagos here, right, you meet different people. Really, you meet really here. That's what I try to let people understand. So when people said, "Oh, Pan Africa or Africa," if you come here, you meet really different type of people here in Nigeria. Maybe their father came as missionaries. You understand?
Mhm.
You understand? Who'll be here for maybe 60 years, even older. They have children here. You know, their children here also have you. Even when you relate to them, you can see that they have that African something in them. You understand? You understand? That deep African something in them. Even when they're
Because
still
they are in there, in the country.
they're being here. So,
Yeah.
so you cannot just come and be selling something. That's what I'm trying to say. Look, we cannot. Something. What I talk about Pan Africans, like they want come and they want a flag that is called Pan Africa. Without they don't you forget even the Europeans. Let me just tell you the truth. The Europeans we see today, they all come from different zones and different places. You understand me? And they respect that each there's this person for this place, this person for that, and they respect that each other's zones. You understand me? So you cannot just come because one thing, colonialists happen out of the blue. You want to be singing Pan Africanist and all this nonsense that will never say in Africa. You understand? You will never say in Africa.
Listen, Kidola, listen. I don't even, I still have a hard time understanding you. You know why? Because you don't seem to understand what Pan Africa, you want to look at yourself from the corner, just around the corner in which you're standing. They're telling you to learn how to look at you beyond yourself. If you don't have that way of looking at you, you will not even be able to help even just Nigeria, even your village, because just gonna think about yourself, Kidola, and then you're gonna think about your wife.
I'm happy. I'm happy myself. I'm happy. Look, you come and eat goat pepper soup and enjoy yourself with everybody. I'm enjoying myself and
You see,
you know,
that's exactly
you
the
know,
small mindset that is keeping us from from
eat some
excelling.
eba and some okra soup, some padayam and some dal
You
soup,
see,
black soups and all kind of egusi soup and
Yeah.
and
Oh my
enjoy the
God.
territory where I'm at that time.
Good
If you
gracious.
see my children, if you see my children licking their hands, when they eat this African food. You see it, you say, "Wow!" You understand me?
Yeah.
Life is good. You understand me? Like this, I've been to some places. I might not settle there or live there, but I visit different places. You understand? So I know sometimes when you go and visit some people, some areas, you think, "Whoa, this is cold here." And that one thing I hate is cold. You understand? I've been to Europe when it was heavily winter, and I regret coming. It was cold. You understand? So you start thinking, whoa, I'm a lucky man. I'm a lucky man to be here.
Okay.
And and I can just call my friend, oh boy, have fun now, where you day? You understand me? Oh boy, okay, let's go and see. Oh, let me so place. You go, you enjoy yourself, you talk about local things. I check the sky. Where you per stay in America is far. It look like somewhere else to me. Tell me, somewhere else. I'm just
Okay,
in a local
okay,
place.
we got the point. But we're telling you, you have to think beyond all that. You have to learn how to think beyond all that, because that's the only way to success. Because you have to think about yourself and get over yourself and think about other people that are not even related to you and think about the country individually. If we think like that, that's how we're gonna come together and build an environment that is conducive to success of our people.
Because where
We're
you from? Are you
talking
from the
about that.
English? Are
Nobody
you
is
from the
telling you.
Are you from the English part of Cameroon?
It doesn't matter where I am from.
Where you
It
from?
doesn't
Where you
matter.
from? I want to know. Are you from the English
I'm
part? Because
I'm from Obinze.
where's that place?
Is
Is
that
that
is that close to Yaoundé or Douala?
Obinze is it's in Imo State. It's a small village in Imo State,
no? You're not from Imo. You're not from
close
Imo.
to Aba.
You're not from Imo. You're not from Imo. You talk to BJ. I know. I know. Or it is Ebasi or something like that. I
It's
know an Igbo girl when you speak. You're not from Imo.
Yeah,
it's
Maybe you
it's
might be
40
married
minutes
to Igbo
from
man.
Owerri.
Maybe
Yeah,
your children, they are Igbo
yeah, that's
children.
where my children are from.
So
Don't we say in Africa that a woman is where her husband is
no,
from?
yes, because if your children build house in Imo State or where they're from, if you die, they'll bury you there. In their houses there. Which is true. So
That's what I'm telling you. I'm from there. So
You are part of Nigeria. In the Igbo culture, if you marry or have a children for Igbo man, you are part of the Igbo society, which is
Where
true.
she
No,
where
that's
she's
the
my
truth.
husband,
Nigerian now.
can
my
Yeah, yeah.
husband has a palace
I say
over
something?
there, and
Eh,
that's what.
so I will see her like an Igbo woman. If I want to deal with her, I will deal with her like that because they have Igbo children. You understand me? Never because at the end of the day, if those children have houses there, they will bury her there, which is the truth. That's what happened in Igbo land. You understand me? So if even if I'm even if her children, if I see the children, they're Igbo children. Because here in Nigeria, we can just look at the area where you're coming from. You understand? And we don't look. That's what I say. Here we just look at you. Okay, even before you open your mouth, okay, this is not Igbo guy. I will respect that one. You understand me? So now I know how to but come back, visit, eat goat pepper soup, eat goat head, you know,
Goat head soup.
goat head
Okay,
soup.
after I finish eating all that, yeah, I understand all that. After I finish all that, there's more to think about than just that. That's the
You enjoy
small
you
way of thinking of African people that is holding African people behind, because they don't know how to think big. They don't know
No,
how
but
to get to the next level. They don't have this how do you say, conquering spirit. Everybody else is conquering you. You over there thinking about your good
nobody's
meat,
conquering,
and
nobody's
that's
nobody's
conquering you.
conquering. Everybody wants small money. If you bring Chinese guy to be a partner in your business, you split the money. When they make
My music,
profit, you split the money. You bring a
my
white guy.
music, please don't let your children
Yeah,
let your children
I
become
don't
Igbo. They
like
are very
we're
Igbo,
not
they are very business
obviously we're
minded. Though.
yeah, so obviously like we're not talking about don't like other races because
no,
I
I'm not
do.
about hating
No,
anybody.
no, no. I'm just making it clear. Like, that's not what people are preaching in case people think that's what's being preached. It's not. It's just be loyal. Like, I don't understand why they don't
Yeah,
like.
Be
black people
loyal
or
to
African
you,
people. I'm
to your
not
people.
sure why they don't. And
Af-
they always want to lie and say that they do. No, they
African millennial,
don't.
what mean by loyal?
Like
Loyal to
they
who?
like rich people. They don't like people who don't have money.
Uh,
That's just the truth. Like I don't know why that's so hard to admit. I don't
African
understand why
millennial, African
that
millennial.
That's the
oh
self-hate.
my
Loyal
god,
to
I don't know
who?
why
Loyal
that's
to
such
who?
a
Loyal to
cliche.
who?
Like
That's the
unless it's your
colonial
family,
inheritance.
yes, unless it's your family or yeah, or somebody rich, you don't really care for them like that. Maybe not everybody,
We
but
did
most
not.
don't.
You only
Most
loyal to your
do not.
who are you loyal
Okay.
to? You
Be
only
No,
loyal to
loyal
your
to your
family.
One
people.
second. I waited a long time to speak. 1 second. So when another behavior that I see is when they come to America specifically, or the West, but let's just say America. Oh, sorry. Actually, when they come to America, like they'll be like, "Oh, can you guys hear me?"
I can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
hear you very well.
Okay. So basically they'll be like, "Oh, don't hang out with like other black people." Well, maybe it didn't happen to you, but it happened to me, and it's based on race. Like they'll be like, "Oh, don't hang out with Jamaicans or don't hang out with like certain blacks," and I don't think that's right. Like, why would you say don't hang out with any of them? Like I get the whole you want to protect your children and you want to make sure that they don't hang out with bad people. I get that. I'm not saying parents shouldn't say that because they do that back home too, but it's like to just say, oh, all Jamaican, like, don't talk to them. Like, where does that mentality come from?
I'll tell you where it comes from.
From
Even
discrimination.
when I came to America too, when I came back because I was born here. When I came back, I started seeing a lot of black people, Jamaicans, and Africans were like, they're not your people. Don't go over there. Even when like if they're around, like some of them will go to an African party, and we all have the way we look at them. Let's talk the truth. We look at them some type of way, like what are you doing over here? You know what I'm because at work they make it hard on us. One, they say you're not to speak English. When you go to school, you excel more than they do. You have more degrees than they do. You know the job better than they do, but they still look at you. One, they say you don't know how to speak English. You don't know how to job. You don't know how to do the job. You're not supposed to be here. You're here taking all the benefits. So they have that grudge against those. Those are not people you introduce yourself to. People that think, oh, you don't know how to speak English, or you don't know how to do the job, or they laugh at you by the way you speak. So Africans, when they're recommending somebody to you, they recommend somebody. I have African American friends that when I take them because I got to make sure you correct. When I take you to Africa party, you're not going to disrespect me over there. You're not going to make yourself look bad in front of African people. You see what I'm saying? But they are naturally like that. They like one or two, not a whole lot. You see what I'm saying? Not a whole lot, one or two. Even at that, even when they go, the Africans look at them like, okay, well, they watch them, see if they are about to talk. When we have conversations, they're trying to be part of the conversation, they stop talking. They look at them like, what do you know? You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing in Africa is when I introduce you to somebody, is somebody that helped me to get up in life. If you're a good person, I want you to be around my kids. Say over here it's hard to raise kids, so that's what they do over here. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, all the West Africans. They look after each other's kids while other people's are at work. The old ladies do that. So that's people you recommend. If you're at work, your kid is being taken care of in the African way. You see what I'm saying? Parties, we have an organization here called Brothers of all the West Africans were in that organization. We have big parties, go to the park. We do all kinds of this party that I was telling you 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we sponsor the guy out of just love. That's how we do our things. But when Jamaicans or African Americans come in, they give them that look like, there they come. There they come. Okay, we're watching them. Don't start cussing or start acting rude, or we don't want that over here. And don't look down on us the way we speak, or because of our strong accents or stuff like that. So those Africans hold that to grudge, because when you telling me I don't know how to, even though I know how to do my job, you doubting me, you holding me back. I gotta provide for my family. I gotta provide for my kids.
Okay,
That's why I'm depending on. Yeah.
okay, Mara, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Is it only okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, acknowledge everything you're saying. Even myself when I came here, I mean that's just like that's the first thing everybody's gonna tell you, right? Who to associate with and who not to associate with, and they tell you why. The people that advise you not to associate with the African Americans, they say so based on their personal experience with them, whatever they went. I mean, whatever happened when they encountered him, it's based on their personal experience. And also, there's also a general, kind of like way of. There's a lot of prejudice, that Africans have formulated towards African Americans based on the. I mean, it's hanging over from previous. I'm gonna say generation. From people that came here before us, and then
Yeah,
so
60s, in the 60s, all the way to 70s.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
and it's reinforced by the media and also all the stereotypes, everything they've been going through.
See,
And what I always
Mac,
advise anyone is to take the time yourself to
uh,
create your own experience. You understand? And make
Amara,
your own judgment.
look, this thing you're
When it
talking
comes to
about,
children,
this thing, Macbusy, sorry to cut you off. This you're talking about, this
you
starts
call me
now.
who? Magnesium.
Mamizi. Don't
Okay,
call out
okay,
a man name. Oh,
okay,
hey,
sorry,
hey,
sorry.
hey, hey, Mamizi. Where's your husband? This man has to report.
See,
To be calling
what
you
you,
a whole
sorry,
man's wife. You're calling
sorry,
her the
sorry.
wrong way. You have to answer. You have to
Amara,
answer.
Amara, see, this start now. African Millennium, this start now. When my father came to study there, right? When my father came to study there, when the Nigerian government sent my father on the scholarship to study in United States, right? You know, what first thing I saw in my father's photo album when he came back were all white. Is professors. You understand me? It's
That's true.
lecturers.
My daddy too.
Were all white. So I didn't really have that because I was so small. I could not really ask him some certain questions. But one certain time, one certain time, I asked him. I said, I saw some pictures in you. I said, who are those guys? He said, oh, that is called Edwin Moses. That's former 400 meters hurdles world champion holder. Then I saw
Hmm.
the other guy. The other guy. Then we started talking. Then he now told me that when he was in school there, right? He said he, 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 he said he went out with some black Americans, right? So he went out with some black Americans on weekend. That was on Friday. Then on the way coming back, you see when federal government is paying you, then he was also an athlete, so he was also running 800 and 1,500 meters. You understand?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that what really took him to United States because he was like Nigerian athletes at that time. He
Hmm.
said so on the way coming back, he and the black friends, he was using a Cadillac. So he said they pretend, oh, they want to pee in the middle of nowhere. He said, okay, let it go down to pee. You understand? He said he didn't know that they wanted to rob him. You know, he said they wanted to rob his car. That's what he said. He said they want to rob his car. Say it was so fast enough that he just know what they want to do. He just jump into his car, then zoom off. Then when they saw the guy the next day, they said, "Oh no, 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 no! Oh no, no, man! You get in the in the wrong way. Then he also said during that period, he also went to do work in their schools. You
Mhm.
understand? He says that's where he really met problem, trouble. That if he's in the class and this is probably black school, you want to control them, so they drink in the back of the class. Then when you tell them, hey, listen to the pay attention, they say, who the fuck are you to tell me? Who the fuck are you, man? You understand? He said it was very disrespectful. That's the only time, but he never talked about racism. My father never talked nothing about racism
Mhm.
at all. You
Me
understand?
too.
So he just give me a small story. That was just the end. You understand?
Mhm. Me
So
too.
so
My
let's talk.
dad had a lot of stories too about when like he came top of the class and they were looking like you monkey. They say something, why you monkey? What, how you know how to read? And this was in the 60s, late 60s, going to 70s.
Amara,
And uh,
Amara, everything that
uh,
you guys saying, is it only the black Americans that think like that about you? Everybody else does. I don't know why you guys that uh
no, but Mamezi, let's talk the truth. If you take right now, we say we're having a party. Okay, we'll make West African party. Okay, okay, all four of us over here we have talked, so we understand. Now all these other people we are inviting from our countries that never knew this conversation. If we bring a lot of African Americans over there, how are they going to treat them? How are they going to look at them? They're going to look at them the same way like these people over here. They have their conversation in our own languages and stuff, and you know, do our own things. That's what it is. Africans, we like our number one thing is we like to think we're the boss of all black people. So if you do
really?
not, if we are
Really?
not, if you don't listen to the African way of doing things or our own way, then you're really not African. Yeah, you might be black, but you're not African. And then we take a grudge because all these people are from Africa. Already their ancestors are from Africa, but they don't put up they don't listen to our culture and our way of thinking the same way they have their own. So anybody that thinks like that and you're not black, we Africans have that grudge against you. That's the number one problem. That's where with white people, they're white, Chinese, all these people don't have no connection with us. No kind of connection. They come in most times, they do business, or if they in the medical field, they do what they have to do. Whatever they got to do, we're not culturally attached. You see what I'm saying? But all these other people, their ancestors came from Africa. But we don't have the respect. You see, because when they say your accent is strong, or you booty scratcher, or you ashy, or your people
Nobody
don't have
says
no
that. Listen,
Vaseline. Because like when I was going to school, I rubbed Vaseline.
no, everybody says
Vaseline,
that.
everybody know
Amara,
Vaseline. Uh-huh.
Amara, everybody says that we have a strong accent. It's a cultural issue. Okay.
No, it's not a cultural issue. They're making fun of us.
No, I mean like
I'm telling you,
O-
I'm amazing. Let me don't say this.
Okay,
It was a Ghana girl. That's
my
how.
Igbo
Let me
sister,
say this story.
have a
It's a
beautiful
Ghana
day.
girl that's today. She
Nice,
got a
nice
PhD.
being on your
We used
panel.
to date.
Bye
We used
bye.
to date. When she came to that job I got to, because she had this job at the university in Raleigh. You know, North Carolina, Raleigh's or not, it's a city that's far away, and then she has to drive like an hour to go. So she came to our job. When they was giving that guy's evaluation, I would have lost my job that day in Mamizi. I swear to God. At West Africa, when we write, we don't have that. When we write our letters, we don't join. You know, we don't join. We have that in common. Before they had these spreadsheets and Microsoft programs, that we use the computer. When we write on a piece of paper, you think it's like a third grader. The girl has 2 degrees. They look at the way she writes as an evaluation. That day I would have lost my job because I was ready to get mad because they were trying to look at her boyfriend walking in the door. She got 2 degrees, a master's, just because the way she writes on a piece of paper. They say she's lying. They didn't go back there and check. I'm telling you, these guys affect our jobs. That's what we depend on to feed our family. Little things like that. That's how they evaluate you.
I
I'm
don't even know
telling
what
you.
you're talking about, to be honest with you. I don't
Okay,
know
I'm
what
just
point.
saying. I'm just
I don't
saying
know
what I'm
what
saying.
point you're
Not
trying
because
to
she was
make.
my girlfriend or nothing, none of that. I'm
No,
just
no, no, no,
saying
no. I don't
what
even
I'm saying.
understand what
Okay.
you're talking about, to be honest with you. What I'm gonna tell you, hold on, Mr. Amara. You guys always want to see things from one angle, okay? We have to learn how to look at the bigger picture, okay? Let's
That's
not
why we
look
got
at the
Africa, man. I'm
problem.
tired. That's why I'm back home. I'm tired.
Hold on, sir. Let's not look at the problem and not acknowledge it. We understand the reason why we have this disconnect. Ourselves, don't forget, listen, I have come to realize that even African Americans, it's not like they hate Africans. I think they love Africans, but they're sometimes disappointed in Africans. Just like you guys, us too. We love African American, but some Africans are disappointed in American African American too. African Americans, some of them, even Tariq, I don't know you listen to Tariq Nasheed.
I don't
He,
know. I don't ever listen to that guy.
okay. He's a guy that go
Never.
he
Never.
goes he goes to war with a lot of immigrants, right? Especially African American, especially African people. But I have learned to listen to him and listen. His problem with Africans is that he's disappointed in Africans. I would be disappointed too in Africans if I was African Americans, because we are the people that were left behind, and we are the people that have the land, like your brother was over here saying, we have the land, we have the culture, we have everything. We are the one that should have been ahead of any
So,
other black group. Okay,
so they got a grudge.
in a way that if African Americans feel oppressed in United States, they can come back to what we have built and enjoy it. But they left us, we were left behind, but we haven't done nothing of Africa. I'll be angry. I would not look at African people like anything either. I would look at us as failure. You understand? We should have built Africa also for them to be for Africa to be an escaping option for them if they don't, if they feel like they don't want to be in America anymore. But look at Africa. Looks like nothing. You guys run over here and bragging about being doing better than them. Why don't you do better in Africa?
I'm doing good in Africa. I'm doing good. Our
That's
family
very
farm.
difficult.
Our
You
family
only
farm.
doing good. You only doing good because you came to America, use the American dollar to build whatever is for only
Let's talk
you.
about what was there. What was there? It's a farm. You take the seed, you put it in the ground, it bears fruit. The only
Listen,
thing you can
but you
say
have
is,
to leave
I take
Africa
the
to come
dollar.
to
No, only
America.
thing you can say, I took the dollar, the money I was making, and
But
buy
that's the
machines.
problem. That's the
And buy
problem.
machines. But that was going on.
But
The
that's the
farm was
problem
there.
that African people don't understand, and that Tariq Nasheed tried to tell people and other African Americans. We have to use what we have where we are because we have everything. We have to find the knowledge, the intelligence. We have to come up with plan to make that place be as comfortable to live in as the place we run into, and coming here and undermine the people that we find over here. And we
Come
brag
on,
about
my
having more
Mazi.
degree. You can look at the issue from a different angle. That's why I'm trying to. That's how we come together, okay? Because if you stay on your little corner and still use your own lens to look at the issue the way you want to look, we're gonna always have this problem, okay? African American also, they don't even understand. If just now that they're understanding Africans, that we were colonized. They thought that when they left, that when they came to America, we were over there living the life. No, we were colonized. We were being brainwashed. Brainwashed. We are. They are African American are even better than African when it comes to knowledge. Okay, having the knowledge and the understanding.
Hey,
We don't understand our
hey,
problem. Listen,
hey.
Amara, we don't understand our problem. That's why we keep repeating the same thing and having the same issue. Okay, that like Kido whoever
Kidola.
Kidola that left. Look at his reasoning. Do you think that we're gonna go far with that reasoning? We're gonna end up the same place. Okay? If you don't know what happened to you, if you don't know your history, you will not be able to draw knowledge and strength and solution from that to say never again. We're never gonna build because we are people that are cut, like we are ashamed of our past. We don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to look into it. We don't want to address it. African hasn't even never addressed like slavery or anything like that. They have never, they don't address it. They pretend like it never happened. Oh, they just look at the world in 2022. They don't go back and say this is what happened, let's make it better. That's why, to me, Africa will never move forward until Africa embrace its past. It's like a curse on Africa. Okay, to me, it's a curse. Africa sold their children. Okay, and they never turned their back to say like, okay, how the children doing? What can we do to make them to make them reintegrate? That's
Okay,
what
let me
I'm.
say this. Let me say this, Mamezi.
Yeah,
These people got houses, they got good jobs, some got good jobs or whatever. They don't want to go to Africa.
no, no, no. I'm
I don't
talking
run
about
into
the
a
one
lot.
that won.
Let me
I'm
say
talking
something
The,
about the
after
people.
Amara.
the
I'm
ones
talking
that want
about
to
the
go to
one that
Africa,
want to go to
yeah, but
Africa.
it's a small amount of people that want to go to Africa.
But let's
It's these
address those
people.
people. Let's address them. Let's
Okay, them,
entertain them.
yeah, them. You see, them, they got another problem. Their problem is there was a guy in the Gambia right now that got in a problem. I'm Muslim, he Muslim. And I told him, when you go over there, do certain things. But they got that African American militant in him. He tried to do what I told him not to do. And then when he got into trouble, he called me, this happened. I said, what I tell you? When you go over there, certain things don't do them, don't ask questions. They see it in you. Okay. He had a problem with certain people. They try to take advantage of him. I say, when you go, I told you who to hang with, who to be around, who not to be around. You know, if you leave and go anywhere, you need to go with certain people and say what you need to say. After a little while, they like a question, and then it got too hot to the point that he was like, where was all this doing slavery? I said, that's your problem. Because everything circled around the slave trade. Everything.
Because they have,
Everything you do is, yeah.
Because they
yes,
keep
I
dwelling in the
understand.
past.
You know,
Trust me,
I'm
I
trying to
understand them.
educate some man how the place is. Don't say this, don't say that, don't, you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
He got mad. Where was this doing? Why y'all ain't do this for us? Why did it? I said, okay, you want to
Amara,
handle
You
your
Amara.
know why
business.
it's like that? Because they want to keep dwelling in the past. They don't want to move forward. They don't want to. They don't want to let go of whatever happened to their ancestors in the past. That's the problem
And
with
they
these
have the
people.
right. And they have the right to think like that. I would
I
think like
understand.
that myself too. If it's me, I would think like that.
Okay.
Listen, only African will call
I
tight
can't
with
be
their
thinking like that.
ancestors. Whatever happened to their ancestor, quick.
Nobody didn't say none of that didn't happen. Nobody's not saying that. But can we deal with ourselves in another way without that coming up in between? Can we do that?
Yes, yes, I
Until you
Can we do that?
address the elephant in the room is still gonna come up.
Yes, okay. Okay, our people sold their people. Okay. Yeah, but now can we do other things and move ahead?
Listen, Amara,
hold on, brother.
if I was a leader in Africa, right, I would address that thing in less than 10 minutes. That's so easy to address, but because African people turn against their own self, the reason why they don't address the African American that want to have a tie in Africa is because they don't even they don't have even the understanding, the knowledge. They don't connect themselves. They are disconnected when it comes to slavery. We are brainwashed. Okay, if you connected to it, you will understand the pain they have. When we
Okay, they
want
got
to create
pain.
a
I understand
nation,
their pain. But that's
I don't
forever
think you
thing.
understand. If you ever say that move on, that's an insult.
I
If you
didn't
tell
say
me that,
move on. I didn't say move on. I'm just saying, yes, I take you to my village. Yes, I show you where things happen. I show you things. You know what I'm saying? But after that, can we? Is there
Can I
other
say
things we
something,
can talk
please?
about?
go ahead, Raz. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
well,
Raz.
about
What kind of internet do you have? Are you using Obama phone?
well, can you hear me?
Yes, it's
Hold on a
in and out.
second. Okay, so how can you hear me well now?
Yeah, it's in and out. Go ahead. We're gonna try.
Hold on. Okay, okay. I hope it's working now. But yeah, I was the one that said move on from slavery. So how much you gonna keep dwelling in the past, like worry about like, oh, like this so this
Okay, we can
does not
we
see
cannot hear you.
all African as one people. Can you hear me?
On and off.
Damn, I don't know. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Okay, Amara. Amara. Look, my dear.
Yep.
Listen.
Uh-huh.
Listen. I listen to Tariq Nasheed. Like when I listen to the guy, he 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 antagonized African people because he has realized how ignorant Africans are about their history. You understand? In their mind, they thought that maybe in Africa we knew everything that they've been through. We were always informed and stuff like that. But when it comes to realize that African people have moved on without even acknowledging ever what had happened to the cousin, because even their ancestors they're talking about, those were our family members. Nobody was happy to lose a family member. You know, it's like maybe it was like my dad's brother or my dad's sister or my uncle. Then my uncle, my brother, and all that also. It's not like because we separating things as if there were some different species and we were capturing them and just selling them. No, it could have been my mom that was captured. It could have been my great grandfather that could have been captured. I would have, and so there was really no telling who we were catching and all that. So what I'm saying is that what Africa would have should have done, those leaders, those unconscious leaders, brain dead leaders, that's how I call them. Aunt Cathy was completely correct when she said there's a lot of brain dead people over there in Africa. That's true. If they were
Okay, Auntie
knowledgeable,
Mamizi, I'm back. Can you hear me?
they would address it in a way that everybody can fit in. Addressing them doesn't mean that we're giving all the attention to them. No, we create a room that will allow them to come in and do and be who they are and still fit in. Okay, because there's a lot of people. I did not even know that before because the African American have been around. They don't want nothing to do with Africa. So this movement online that I see, some African American wanting to connect with Africa. I mean, like to me, I don't know why would we wouldn't even take that kind of opportunity to like embrace them and let them come in. They're coming with a lot. They're coming with knowledge. Okay? They're coming with a different view on how to do things that we can embrace and it can help us grow. Working together and learn from each other. Okay? So I don't even know why African people should be at war with African American or diaspora. And that doesn't even make sense. That's stupid. That's a small thinking, small way of thinking of African that they don't understand how the works and pivot. But anyway, sorry, Raz. Go ahead. Oh my God. No, Raz, you can we can understand it's worse than before. But Amara, do you understand what I mean? I'm saying
Just give me a minute.
I
Hello.
think I yes. Do you understand what
Uh,
I'm trying to say here?
Yeah. I understand that for the for the
Don't you
little
think?
bit of people that want to go to Africa. Okay, let them go. But that's another kind of worm because I know people that have gone over there that one don't respect the
Don't follow on
tribes.
those people. You always have
Okay, no, but
bad
I'm just
everywhere.
saying, no, but what I'm telling you about this guy, I told him, I
Okay,
took the
don't bring
time.
that guy
Okay,
over here. These are not the people I'm talking
okay,
about.
but what I'm
I'm
saying is in
advocating for
general.
people. There are a
Okay,
lot of people. When I see people like
okay, a lot of people. But what
yeah,
I'm saying is,
look at the arrival. Look at the back family.
yeah,
Those are
I know,
people
but
that are
even
more.
those people, when they go over there, one, they start talking against the education system. They
They
start
are
talking against
correct.
this.
They
They got
are
now.
correct.
Wait. Okay, we when we talk about it, I'm telling them watch where you talking about. This is not America where you can shout at your politicians and whatever. You go over there and shout at politicians, where you gonna end up? In jail.
I know.
Watch
I
what you're
understand.
saying. That's what I'm trying to tell them.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't do that.
watch.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what I'm trying to tell them. The same guy I was telling you, those guys when they go in, I tell them. When you see a politician or police or this or that, don't argue. Oh, I'm you know what I'm saying? My people, my ancestors from over here are supposed to have this, and that. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Watch what you watch. I bring some of them and I tell them. I say, if you guys could wait for me, like the other guy, I say, wait for me like 1 more month to go to Sierra Leone. I'll go there with you. When they see me with you, you know, they won't ask you a whole bunch of questions or they look at you a different way. You see what I'm saying? He hurried up and went in there, went first. I'm telling you, they don't listen. He went ahead and tried to get some land. You know, he had problems. I told him, wait on me. Wait for me or listen to me. Exactly what I tell you. They don't listen. They think they know.
Okay,
It's a
don't
way that they think
generalize
they
that.
know more than us
Okay,
or
don't generalize, Amara, please. When I don't like when we talk about a group of people as if they're
I know. I'm
yeah,
just saying. I'm just saying.
yeah.
You try. Okay, if somebody's going to Cameroon right now, even me, if I'm going to Cameroon, what are you going to tell me? You be like, oh, Amara, you put me to the side. I'm introducing you
Yeah, I
to
understand
my
that,
uncle
but we
over
have
here.
to pass that. Yeah,
Yeah, you stay with my uncle's house. I'm introducing you to these people. They'll show you around. You see what I'm saying? Just to guide you. You know?
but people are who they are. People are individual, or
Okay,
maybe that
well,
one.
okay, hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that one acted like that. But don't use them to be the face of African American.
No,
I know
I deal
people.
with a lot like that.
Really,
A lot.
listen. When I see an African American go and live in Africa, there's nothing to me that is like. I mean, it baffles me because I will not do it. You understand? We
Yeah.
are way too behind. We are way too. There's so much that it takes to live in Africa. Even
Yeah,
ourselves
you
that
do. You
there
do.
are.
If you plan it, you gotta plan it.
Even when you plan it, the mentality only the mentality can kill me. You understand?
No,
These
when
are
you go
people
back to
that are
Africa, you
very.
do the Africa thing. Don't bring American stuff over there. Trying to
What
tell
you,
people America things.
okay, hold on, Amara, hold on. Well, you guys always say that. Let me address this. When you guys say don't bring American stuff over there, what do you mean? You are leaving Africa to go to America for American stuff, but you're not smart enough to understand that you're going to America to chase that, and when it comes back to you for free, when somebody bring it back to you for free, but your ego doesn't allow you to acknowledge that, oh, this is what I was risking my life to go get over there. The person is bringing, just like even the education system, right? I feel like African Americans should come to Africa.
Uh,
That and design
uh,
the curriculum in Africa, because the curriculum in Africa is a curriculum to alienate Africa. They don't tell Africans the truth about who they are. I believe that African Americans should be hired. I'm not even, they should be hired and pay good money to come and rewrite the curriculum, especially
okay,
in the secondary school, and introducing our curriculum
Mamizi.
to
Let
the
me ask
youth.
this question. So you want the African American to go to the Ministry of Education in Yaoundé and go up to the minister and tell him how to do his job?
No, he's not doing any
Well,
job.
that's what you're saying.
No, no,
That's what I'm
listen,
trying to tell him.
Mara, he's not
Watch
doing
what you're
any
saying.
job. He doesn't write the curriculum. Our curriculum is written, was designed by
Yeah,
French, by
but he's
France.
in charge. He's in charge to make sure the educational system goes correct, right?
But is it
So
going correct? They're over
it's
there
not.
alienating their
But
children.
even you ask can't tell the man that the education system is not wrong. So why would African Americans go over there and tell the minister that you're not doing your job? Why you letting? That's what I'm trying to tell him.
African
Watch
American
yourself.
don't need to go. I'm telling you that
I'm telling you, watch yourself. Because
I was
they were talking about the same things.
if I
Educational system
was
is this. I said, watch who you talk to. Watch yourself over there. Don't go to no government office or think you go to a school system and tell
okay,
people they don't know how
you're
to do
saying
their job.
something that
Watch
I did
yourself.
not say.
Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
That's not what I'm
Okay.
saying. I never said that African American should go and say to. I'm saying that if I was the minister, if I was a leader, right, in Africa, what I would do, I will recruit some African American scholars, right, to influence, like to what, like to contribute into writing, redesigning the African uh, curriculum. You understand, especially in the primary school, and even in
Okay.
our country, we have a lot of historian that is from Africa. It's not only African American. African American gonna only come from to help in the aspect of like the slave trade. You understand, and whatever happened to the ancestor and all that. But the majority of the curriculum is gonna be reading by African historian because right
So
now
so
everything
you saying the WIAC, they could change the WIAC, the whole WIAC.
the curriculum that's designed right now, right, was
No,
designed
that's
by
what I'm saying.
European.
Okay.
Those are
West
European.
African Examination Council. You gotta change everything in there.
Well, listen, they're controlled by
Okay.
who? Those
Okay.
organizations are
Okay.
controlled by who?
Okay.
Who is
Okay.
controlling them?
Okay.
We can even France refused that we France for the longest in Senegal refused that uh uh what's check and tap job book. They refused that book is introduced into the curriculum. Do you know that? It's only 2 years ago.
I did Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe is a slave thing. But we did it in school. Nobody don't take that personal.
No, it depends on
Robinson
what.
Crusoe,
No,
even
no,
the
no. Hold
English
on.
people, there's
In
an
Africa,
English lady that came to school
they
before we
don't.
took our WIAC, before I took my O levels. The English lady came to school and she was talking about Robinson Crusoe was they do because he said Man Friday is eating because they call us cannibals. It's a racist book that we're savages and we're this and that. But people just read those things to ourselves, kids. We were like, man, the white people don't know anything. You study it, you pass the exam, you go to the next class. You forgot about Robinson Crusoe. You go
That's
on
what
to
I'm.
the next book.
That's
If
what
it's
I'm
Silas
telling you that you guys
Manner
do
or
this thing.
Macbeth or
You
some
don't
other
understand. Uh,
Shakespeare. I'm just saying, like literature, some of those books before you took your WIAC, they bring in Robinson Crusoe. Man Friday, they say the man was a cannibal. The English guy came to West Africa and found the guy eating as ritual, killing another African man, eating the man eaters. So that's in England. They say, okay, the people in England say that's racism. They're supposed to have Man Friday, Robinson Crusoe's book in the English curriculum system, but it's in the West African Examination Council. You have to take it for your WIAC. But we, among ourselves, the kids, we were like, okay, that's not what we Africans do. I don't know where this guy came up with. You study what you have to study and take the test and pass and go to college.
that's what you
It's
think.
we
You
don't
know.
take it personal. I'm just trying to say, you just study.
Listen, Amara, you don't understand how psychology works. That those things damage a lot of children's psychology. Is in their subconscious. You know. It's very damaging if you're gonna sit around. Why do you have to even read the book first before? Because you say just read it and take the test. What kind of education is that? What kind of education is that then? You know what? I've been here so long, 3 hour and 34 minutes. Um, I've been here way too long, way too long. Amara, thank you so much for stopping by. I really
Okay.
appreciate chatting with you, even
Okay.
though, um, yeah, yeah, thank you.
All right.
And
I'll try to come some other time.
yeah,
Anytime I
please,
get a chance. I'm going to
please
Sierra
do.
Leone.
I like to
Uh,
talk with
I'm
Africans.
going to Sierra Leone in 3 weeks. So if I find some time in between, when I be in Africa in Sierra Leone, I don't have time. You know,
You
see,
know how
I'm going to see. I don't
expensive.
have time to be on the internet. You
Yeah,
know, so
internet is very expensive in
it's too
Africa.
expensive. One, then I'll talk like I'm in America. By the time I know, I look at my my data. My data, I don't spend like 100 and some dollars. Just talking like this.
Okay, okay, Mr. Amara, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for listening to me, guys. Thank you for everything. I see you in the next life. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll be here again. I have my 2 days off. I like to come live and just like okay, bye bye.
Okay. Bye.